Welcome to the Milwaukee Mile for the penultimate round of Top Fuel Racing's 10th season here on ESPN. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett. Joining me in the booth as well is Tony Chapasso, and we have a championship pretty much sealed up here tonight, but that will not take away from the exciting racing we always see from this league. Tony, John Poole just turned up tonight and he's officially been crowned the champion, so just going to race it out for pride here tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those, you don't necessarily have to win the battle to win the war. He's already won the war. Now it's time to just, it's a victory lap, basically.
Yeah, as qualifying is just underway right now, but just a reminder, this is the penultimate round of the season. Next week we head to Pocono for the finale, and that's always going to be an exciting race around the Tricky Triangle. But tonight we are at the most difficult track they're ever going to go, oval they're going to go to on the schedule, and this is the Milwaukee Mile, very notorious for many reasons. Tony, I know how you feel about it, but just tell us anyway.
Well, I mean, this has always been a difficult track to get around quickly. You're talking about the oldest racing facility in North America. This predates the Brickyard by 8 years. 1903 was the first time that they actually ran a race at this facility. And they paved it in 1954. There's so much history here at the mile that I love the fact that we're still using it. I hate the fact that it's such a tricky track to get around because the corners are so, they're deceiving. That's the best way I can put it as far as how to get around this track. The corners are very deceiving. Right when you think you can lay the power down, the track will jump up, grab you, and throw you into its outside wall.
Yeah, and that's just one of the factors going into this one. And the other one is, one of them being the main reason is the very tricky entrance to pit road and the very tricky exit to pit road. Another one of the factors of this one going into tonight, Tony.
Yeah, on the plus side, I don't expect us to see a lot of green flag pit stops. On the downside, I don't expect us to see a lot of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult as I'm just fiddling with my stuff here, so please bear with me.
Now, don't forget, folks, there is an at-home drinking game, and it's one that we usually break out here at the Milwaukee Mile. You're welcome to play along at home. Let us know in the chat if you are going to play the at-home drinking game with us. And for those of you who are new to ESPN, we do need to ask you to...
Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Replug, reshare it, tattoo it on your face.
And while you're at it, to play the at-home drinking game, the way that works is once the green flag comes out for the initial start of the race, the at-home drinking game has begun. Every time the caution flag flies, you take a shot.
Yep.
If at the end of the event you're still alive and haven't had to be rushed to the hospital with alcohol poisoning, you win.
That's the at-home drinking game here, but let's focus on current events here as we've got a very interesting top five here, Tony, as we've had 9 drivers take time already, but Ronnie Osmer currently sitting at the top of the pile.
Osmer sitting on top of the pile by almost 3/10. And that's insane when you're talking about a 1 mile track. To have that big of a gap is just ridiculous. But then again, Ronnie Osmer is a short track specialist.
Absolutely, as we are counting down to the...
And then how about Byron Rodney sitting 5th quick so far? Doesn't drive fenderless cars very often, but when he does, as Dan Brazelton just bumped him out of the top 5.
Yeah, he did.
Another name to mention here is the New Jersey Ninja, Johnny Antonucci, currently sitting, I've got him at 9th quick.
Yeah, here's P9 as we're just looking at Indy 500 champion Timothy Bates just coming out of turn 4. Let's see where this one's going to put him as he crosses the line, and that will be it. It's P8 for Timothy Bates there as Dan Brinson has finished his qualifying time, and he's got dropped down to P6 because Kieran Brigelli has now moved up to 2nd place. As we're looking at one of the most exciting rookies in the league, that is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Finished 5th at Indy and got a podium last week. He's really turning on the style, this new guy in this league.
Oh, absolutely. You know, bringing some fresh blood into the league. You know, on his opening lap, tires are still cold. Throws it 11th quick. Looks like he's going to do one and done though. Kind of coasting it around. Probably not the qualifying attempt he was hoping for, but you know, it's good to see some fresh blood coming in. You know, still have some big names yet to you know, post a time with.
Here's one of them
under 4 minutes.
Yeah, John Poole is out on track now. The man that captured the championship last week. He's here on track. See what time he can put down this time.
Well, he didn't capture it last week. He had to actually show up tonight to get the show up points. He's officially now just clinched the championship.
Yeah.
And goes 2nd quick.
Yeah. Definitely a champion's drive. Let's go to another man that's no stranger to winning championships in this league. That's Mr. Scott Brinson running the NWO paint scheme here tonight, and how he would love to get a championship back next season. Currently sitting 3rd in the standings, though, in the point standings. Probably not the best season by Scott's standards.
Definitely not. But you know, there's been some issues on track. You know, he's repeatedly gotten caught up in everyone else's dumpster fire. Basically, it's been akin to what normally happens to you, Sam, where, you know, somebody else steps on their own junk and you've got absolutely nowhere to go. I think with you coming into the booth, that kind of threw your luck at Scott.
Yeah, I hate to be the person that does that.
But
yeah.
Scotty going 4th quick already.
Oh!
And ends the wall on the flyer. Gonna throw away lap.
Yeah,
not a bad qualifying attempt. You take a look at your top 4 right now. You got Nate Siefker, Ronnie Osmer, John Poole, and Scott Brinson.
Yeah,
that's the usual suspect in my book.
Yeah, Ronnie Osmer, another driver that's not won a race in a long time. Would love to get one here. He came close last week at Michigan, but unfortunately faded near the end there, and he's going to be hoping for better luck this time around. We're looking at Carl Burke now, just finishing his qualifying run as he crosses the line, and I think he's already done his qualifying run. I think he's just turning a few more laps to get the car dialed in.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely one of those setups that you want to get as much wheel time as you can, just to make sure that you know what the car is going to do when the tires start to fall off. And also get a flyer going to work on your pit entry like Carl just did. You know, that's probably the wisest thing I've seen anybody do tonight. You know, just make sure that if you have to, you can duck onto pit road at speed and not clobber yourself on those giant yellow barrels that are filled with water at the end of the pit wall.
Yeah. Only 2 drivers not taking time here tonight. Colin Scott and Kerry Cleaver decided not to put a time in. We are 45 seconds to the end of qualifying. Don't think they're going to get out in time to put a lap time down. So we're going to have 19 drivers that have taken time here at Milwaukee. Nate Siefka, as well, that went under the radar there, Tony.
I saw it when it happened, but we were talking about John Poole winning the championship. But yeah, that's a hell of a lap by Siefker. And I would like to point out that Colin Scott has already put it on the hauler for the night.
So we're going to have 20 drivers taking part in this one. Nate Siefker still in pole position. And before we go to the grid here, just want to touch on Nate Siefker. Had a terrible race last week. I'm guessing he's going to be looking to put that behind him this time around, Tony.
there's a lot of drivers that had less than stellar performances last week at Michigan. But, then again, there was kind of a curveball thrown. They did swap Michigan and Milwaukee to give the drivers a little more time to make sure that they knew what was going to go on when they got here to this historic facility. So hats off to league management for making that switch. But yeah, there's a lot of drivers that are going to look to kind of improve on last week's performance.
Yep, and with that, let's go to the grid for tonight's race as we are getting ready to go to green here. So starting up on the pole, once my grid decides to not be idiotic. But anyway,
starting up on row number 1, you're going to find Nate Siefker and Mr. Ronnie Osmer. Row 2 is going to go to your series champion, champion-elect, if you will, Mr. John Poole. He's going to be joined with 3-time series champion Scotty Brinson. Jeff Wupker and Karen Bergelli are going to make up row number 3. Row 4 is going to see Mike Sturgill and Chris Walker. Mark Walker and Paul Crumry are going to make up row number 5. Row 6, we're going to see Dan Brazelton roll off next to Byron Rodney. Row 7 is going to see Carl Burke and your Indy 500 champion Tim Bates. Current rookie of the season, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, is going to roll off next to Butch Davis in row number 8. Row 9 is going to see the New Jersey Ninja, Johnny Antonucci, and the Thunder from Down Under, Mr. Kevin O'Brien. Jeff Clark and Kerry Cleaver are going to roll off shotgun down the field in row number 10. 20 cars scheduled to go off here tonight. Sam, I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Going to be an absolutely fascinating race for the racing purists. Obviously, this being a historic venue next to the latest historic venue to join iRacing, that's North Wilkesboro. So iRacing is full of historic stuff here, and Milwaukee is no exception. And we're going to see 170 laps of pure racing action here tonight. Hopefully, they keep it clean out there tonight.
Got it. 60.
160 then, okay.
As the Ford Mustang pace car rolling them out.
Chris Walker pit stop.
And somebody already just ate garbage.
Yeah, I'm guessing that might have been... I didn't see who that was. Was it Jeff Clark? It was Jeff Clark. So Jeff Clark in trouble early on.
Yeah, unfortunately, as drivers are debating which gear they're going to start in as the field works its way into the 3-4 complex. Now, mind you, folks, when the pace car pulls off, this is going to be, watch where this pace car pulls off and watch where the green flag comes out, as Seifer's going to have the button. Grab a tear off, pull the belts a little tighter. Grandpa Papa Viagra, it's time to get it on in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. As Seifer pulls the trigger, green flag flies. We are underway. Osmer trying to go with him. Here comes Poole, though. As Osmer throws the huge block going through 1 and 2. Seifer going to have the lead as they go down the back straightaway, Sam.
Yeah, Nate Seifer off to a decent start there, but got Ronnie Osborne right on his tail here as they come out of turn 4. They've got a bit of a gap on John Poole already. Poole has already dropped back into the clutches of Scott Brinson, who's held onto that P4. Actually, he moved up one, I think, actually. He's starting P5 up to P4. We've got side-by-side action behind him between Jeff Wupker and teammate Kieran Bergelli.
Absolutely. Currently right now, though, Paul Crumry starting to make some headway, making a spot on Mark Walker. Crumry up to 9th. Walker regulated back to 10th. And it looks like Kevin O'Brien dropping to the tail of the field to try to stay out of trouble early.
Yeah, and that's Kevin O'Brien's forte. He likes to drop to the back of the field early on and slowly make his way forward as the race progresses. So no surprise that he's back there, but expected to be a lot higher once this race progresses. As Scott Brinson now to 3rd place after disposing of one Mr. John Poole.
Absolutely, as Seifer and Osmer, two full seconds to the good, and it looks like Seifer is starting to gap Osmer.
He is, and he's about a second ahead of Osmer already. Osmer falling backwards. Brinson doing everything he can to catch them. I want to mention Brinson. Brinson is a very competitive man at this track. He knows how to win here. He won here last season when we went here. So Brinson, you got to watch out for him as this race progresses, because he definitely knows how to win at this 1 mile oval.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. As the caution comes out,
Mark Walker.
And Mark Walker, our first casualty.
So let's go back and take a look at that then, as looks like he might have lost it going into 3. He was on the inside of Paul Crumrine there, just dove it in there. And I'm getting, the back end just stepped out on the exit of turn 4, and he just smacked the wall there. Did somebody hit him? And yeah, Jeff Clark just wiped him out there.
Yeah, Jeff Clark just T-boned the left rear suspension of the Walker car. Walker going to go pit side immediately. Not even going to try to limp it around to stay on the lead lap. Going to take the hit and hope to get it back later. And that's what I was talking about during the pre-race, Sam. Is just when you think you can really pour the coals to it, this track will come up and bite you quickly.
Yeah, and it certainly did that for Mark Walker. Unfortunately, Jeff Clark left with nowhere to go. We've got people taking down pit road. Scott Brinson's in pit road. That's a bit of a surprise there.
I'm thinking that's going to fall into both fuel and tire strategy. They've got 6 laps under anger already. So, whenever you get the chance to get 4 feel goods on that car, you're going to do it.
Yeah, as Brinson wins the race off pit road ahead of Michael Sturgill, Paul Crumrine, Carl Burke, Butch Davis, Jeff Clark, Johnny Antonucci, Kerry Cleaver, Mark Walker, been in pit road for a couple of laps now. Possibly going to call it a night early on?
I wouldn't think so. He's got the fast repair to burn still. It looks like he's down and away now.
Yeah, as Kerry Cleaver back in pit road again for some unknown reason. No, he's back out again, so that's that. And no, Mark Walker's still sitting in his pit box.
But, this for those of you that aren't familiar with the Milwaukee Mile, this is basically the NASCAR equivalent of Darlington. That's the best way I can put it to you NASCAR fans. As far as the abrasiveness of the racing surface here, it's been a while since they've had a repave, and the track surface is just straight evil. You're talking about the Wisconsin winters just wreak havoc on the pavement here. So you've got a very abrasive racing surface. So if you can get 4 brand new tires, no matter when you can get them.
Yeah, but obviously the real life Milwaukee not going to be due any repaves anytime soon, seeing as it's been lying dormant for the past 2 years. But who knows? We might see it back in action in sometime in the future. But then again, I'm not holding my breath.
Actually, what did I just see? Sunday, June 14th, the Milwaukee Mile 100 this season.
Oh, wow. Who's that with?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Oh. Well, it's definitely not going to be the Indy Lights Series because they've just cancelled the whole season, so... Would be nice if NASCAR went back to the Milwaukee Mile. We're still waiting for the lights to go off on the pace car here. These laps taking a bit longer than they should be. And we're going to give a rundown of your top 10 here before the lights go off on the pace car. Nate Sievke, your leader. Ronnie Osborne in second. John Poole in third. Kieran Brighelli in fourth. Chris Walker rounds out your top 5. Jeff Walker in P6. 7th is Byron Rodney. 8th is Timothy Bates. 9th is Dan Brazenton. And rounding out your top 10 is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. And those guys have got to watch out because everybody else behind them are on fresh tires.
Absolutely, and that is going to be an ARCA Midwest Super Late Model Tour event. So save that date if you are in the Milwaukee area, June 13th. You can actually see cars in real life circulating this historic facility.
Yeah, and boy, do they need money right now, because with the recent COVID-19 pandemic and everything else that's going on, it's basically another track that's basically trying to stay afloat right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to the racing action though as they come through 3 and 4. Lights are off on the pace car. Nate Seeger opting for the outside line for the restart here. Ronnie Osborne's going to be on his inside now. This is going to be interesting to see which line works better, the outside or the inside. We'll find out in just a second as the pace car makes that little dip into pit road. The green lights will come out straight away and we are back. Green flag racing on lap 12 is 160 and Nate Seeger jumps the lead very quickly as John Poole already putting Kieran under pressure coming through 1 and 2. John Poole takes a bit too much yellow curb there. That's going to cost him some time as here comes Jeff Wubka to the outside of the champion-elect.
Absolutely. That curve will bite you quickly, and it's going to hurt when it does. It doesn't look that bad, but when you go to get 2 tires up on it, it's the same thing as if you're driving your car on the street over a curve.
Yeah.
It's just a smoother transition, but it's the same type of unbalancing that's going to happen. And you'll see it there.
Big collision between teammates. Sorry to interrupt you there, Tony, but Chris Walker just got into the back of his teammate Jeff Wubka and spun him around. Oh, I would love to be a fly on the wall in that team speak right now.
Yeah.
Because that looked nasty.
Yeah, that's just... You know, that was a complete ARCA brake moment. Chris just completely misjudging the braking zone. Jeff was running a little bit high. Maybe might have used a little extra brake to try to get the car back down into that racing line where you see that darker strip of asphalt in the corners there. And I'm hearing cold tires.
Wow.
So that was one of those deals where Wubker started it on his own and Walker finished him off. And the thing is too, Sam, if you take a look at the track temperature, ambient air temperature 75 degrees, track temperature is only 76. That's pretty cold for these tires.
Yeah, it's pretty cold and it's going to take him a while to get warmed up. It's got a 2 mile per hour wind as well. Yeah, humidity is wow. I can't really even read that. But yeah,
relative humidity 44% with 22 inches of mercury and rising.
That's yeah.
Basically what it means is there's a storm coming in. We're not going to get it yet, but they're probably going to have rain during Victory Lane.
That sounds about right. But anyway, we're under caution number 2 here right now. Nate Seeger is your leader. Ronnie Osborne's in second. Kieran Brigelli in third. John Poole is in fourth. Byron Rodney capitalising from that incident between the 2 No Limit Racing team mates, and he is now in the top 5 here, Tony.
Absolutely. And I do want to remind people, if you are playing the at-home drinking game, that's 2 shots.
Yep. As I just took a big long drink of my bottle of Coca-Cola in response to that.
And it looks like Mark Walker has put it on the hauler.
Oh, that's a shame. And Chris Walker might have put it on the hauler as well, because I'm not showing him in the race at all.
He had a glitch.
Oh, so he got throughput.
Yeah.
So both the walkers out at the same time. That's unusual, but it happened. Yeah.
Hey, we've seen a lot stranger animals here. Meanwhile, we're working lap 17 of 160. Caution number 2 is out. Nate Siefker continues to show the way. Ronnie Osmer, Karen Bergelli, and John Poole continue to try to apply pressure. How about Byron Rodney and Luis Gonzalez Nunez moving up to 5th and 6th, respectively? Both of them started back, deep in the field. Byron started 12th. Luis started 15th.
Yeah, but look who's right behind him on fresher tires.
That would be Mr. Scott Brinson, Mr. Dan Brazelton, and Mr. Michael Sturgill.
Yeah. If we get a longer green flag run, I can't help but think that Brinson is going to eat them alive.
What is it the kids say? Hashtag not wrong?
Yeah, something like that.
Or hashtag facts?
No, that was what they said in the noughties. Facts.
Oh, no, I heard a younger person say that to me today.
Oh. Maybe I am getting old, I don't know.
Even though up 2x2, lights are out on the pace car. Siefker electing for that outside line again. He's going to have champion-elect John Poole behind him, putting his teammate Karen Bergelli behind Ronnie Osmer. So this could get very interesting as the field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Lights are out on the Ford Mustang pace car. Siefker going to have the button one more time as the pace car gets ready to make that hard left turn onto pit road. Pace car is in. Siefker holds him down. Almost causes Osmer to Texas the start. And that, I think, threw John Poole off as well, as Osmer able to third. Bergelli relegated to 4th.
Yeah, and now here comes Scott Brinson to the inside of both Osmer and Nunez. Brinson going to put on a power move here as they come out of turn 4, drag race towards turn 1. I think he's going to get this move done. Brilliant move there by Scott Brinson.
Absolutely. It's Brinson all the way up to the top 5 again after taking those fresh Mr. Feelgoods under the first caution. Scotty is definitely somebody you don't want to play chess against. Very strategic thinking going on. As Osmer coming out of 2.
Big incident there for Osmer. Spins it out of 2. Big front wing damage.
And no caution.
Yeah, he crashed into the infield. So that leaves Nate Siefker out to a very clear lead now, well ahead of John Poole, about 1.8 seconds ahead of him, and Bergelli right on the tail of Poole. And you see Brinson, he's just lurking back there, he's hunting, isn't he? I know you're looking for it, just play it.
No, I was looking at what happened to Osmer, and he swung a little wide coming out of 2 and caught the marbles that have already started to form on the exit of 2, and just around she goes.
I can't help but feel like I put a bit of a commentator's curse on Ronnie Osmer when I said that he's been looking for a win for so long, and now he was...
Oh yeah, Ronnie, when you finally come up here to the Central New York area for Dirt Week, and Sam, we're under caution.
Paul Crumright, big wreck there, missing his rear wing. Let's take a look and see what happened to the man in the 3.
He might have had help.
Yeah, there was Nunez right behind him. Let's take a look and see what happened. He came out of turn 2. No, I'm a bit too far back. Let me go and see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. So, Nunez jumping to the bottom line, just gets it to the left rear of Crumright. Crumright goes around and into that safer barrier. And you know Crumright's not going to be happy about that.
Well, he's not going to be happy about it, but the thing is, I'm looking at it from multiple different angles right now, and I'm not seeing where Nunez really did anything wrong. He was down on that stripe. Yeah, he came up just a tick, but Paul didn't give him any room. So Paul kind of brought that on himself, I hate to say. He just went down, and unfortunately, for him, Luis was there.
Yeah. So Crumright in pit road for extensive repairs there. Probably not going to take his. Well, he's going to have to burn his fast repair. Let's put it that way, because he hit the wall pretty hard.
Yeah.
A bit of a reprieve, however, for Ronnie Osmer, who's managed to stay on the lead lap, even though he did take it down pit road.
Barely.
So, Osmer, who's been down for a new front wing, as Kevin O'Brien brings it to pit road now. Everybody else has been in pit road apart from John Poole, Kieran Bergelli, Michael Sturgill, Carl Burke, Butch Davis, Jeff Webker. Nate Siefka winning the race off pit road as Scott Brinson finds himself second of the guys in the new tyres. Byron Rodney finds himself third of the guys on new tyres. Still in the top 10, mind you.
Yeah, I think your timing and scoring might be a little off.
Third of the guys that have taken tyres, not third overall.
I'm showing him as second. If Scotty, the first one who took tires...
No, Nate was the first one.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I freely admit this. Unfortunately, I don't have a second screen where I can have all that fancy timing and scoring baloney that Sam's looking at.
You would have one if one certain Mr. Rodney would bring your stuff to you.
Yeah, I know. What we can think is we've got to wait for the rest of the quarantine to be phased out. We just got approval for phase 3 to start in a couple of weeks, as of right now, tentatively. But currently, John Poole, your champion-elect, showing the way. Karen Bergelli, Mike Sturgill, Carl Burke, Butch Davis, Jeff Wupker, Nate Siefker, Scotty Brinson, Byron Rodney, and Luis Gonzalez Nunez rounding out your top 10.
Michael Sturgill, the latest driver that's made the proclamation that he is going for a win here tonight, so no surprises up in third place. But he's on a bit of a different tyre strategy here in this one. I don't think he's been down pit road yet.
Probably not. I don't think your entire top 5 have been down pit road yet. But I can tell you right now, Sam, in order to get a win here, there's really only one thing you can do. Zero Dragons!
Yep, and we've seen
all you can do to try to get a win here.
And we've seen that multiple times here at Milwaukee in the past, so we definitely will see it again here tonight. But lights are off on the pace car here again. John Poole opted for the inside line for this restart, so let's see how that one pans out as they made their way through 1 and 2. Just a reminder of your top 5: John Poole in first, Kieran Bergelli in second, Sturgill in third, Carl Burke in fourth, and fifth is Butch Davis. No, Jeff Wupker, sorry. No, I was right, it's Butch Davis.
It's Davis.
Yeah. In the STP machine, but I can't help but think that I really like Jeff Wupker's paint scheme. That red, white and blue really does match together well. But anyway, let's get it going once again as they come through 3 and 4. Remember, there's not much time between the pace car dropping off and the green flag coming out, so let's go. Pace car will make the left turn onto pit road right now, and green flag will fly right now as we go racing once again on lap 31. Lap 30 is 160. John Poole off to a big jump there, and look at Michael Sturgill already looking underneath Kieran Bergelli as he comes flying out of turn 2. Big drag race towards turn 3.
As Bergelli right now able to hold off Sturgill. Sturgill under attack Carl Burke, who is under attack from Jeff Wubker. A lot of jockeying going on right now, and Nate Seifker mired in traffic as he just dive bombed to the inside of Butch Davis.
Yeah, Davis falling back very quickly. Restarting P5, already down to P8 now. Scott Brinson now looking at getting into the top 5 himself, just right on the tail of Jeff Wilker, but has Nate Seifker right behind him as they come flying out of turn 4. Brinson going to try and dive it down there. Wilker going to chop his nose off right for the corner, and Brinson will not appreciate that at all.
Oh, absolutely, and harsh words being exchanged in the sim right now. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately for the ladies present, we don't broadcast the in-sim chatter. Probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Because YouTube has those community guidelines that what you can and can't say on TV.
But anyway,
as Seifker and Brinson still slugging it out. Brinson's getting back to Wubker now. Not sure if he's going to be happy with what happened before. Side by side as they go through 1-2. Coming out of 2, drag race down the back straightaway. Still side by side. Wubker not giving an inch, making it work on that second lane. Slips up high. Brinson going to get the position, and here comes Seifker.
Yeah, I can't help but think after the words that were exchanged just now that Wilker might have just ceded that one to him just to make amends for it. But anyway, Brinson back up to the top 5. Let's go back to your leader right now. John Poole out to a pretty decent lead over Kieran Brighelli, who's out to a decent lead himself over Michael Sturgill. Sturgill has Carl Burke breathing down his neck almost. And Scott Brinson starting to reel these ones in again after moving up to P5. Jeff Wubker, we just saw him have that bit of an incident there with Scott Brinson. Now under pressure from Butch Davis. So I wonder if Wubker might have burned those tyres off too early. I believe he was one of the drivers that have not been down pit road yet, and that's starting to show true now.
Correct. He hasn't gone down pit road yet. And if you take a look at those who have gone down pit road, they are making progress forward. Those who haven't been down pit road, as Brinson looking at the inside of Carl Burke right now, it's the haves and have-nots as far as grip. And this field starting to get more strung out than an 80s hair metal band on a world tour. Get your hate mail coming, folks. That's Tony Trapasso, Port New York, P.O. Box OU812.
Yeah, Scott Brinson.
And Johnny Antonucci has put it on the hauler.
So Johnny Antonucci, the latest retirement in this one. We are down to 17 drivers left in this race, and it's been backed up there by Kevin O'Brien, who's currently sitting P17. Let's get a check up on Ronnie Osmer, already back up to P10 now after his spin earlier in the race, and now putting Gonzalez Nunez under pressure as he dives into the inside of the Chilean native now residing in Canada. And now Nunez is going to cross him over here. This might be a very interesting battle here between these two drivers. Very talented indeed.
And we're back under caution, so that battle's going to have to wait.
Kerry Cleaver in trouble this time.
And he still can't get that car pointed in the right direction. Is now going a lap down as the field trying to work its way by him. Let's see what.
He just washed up the track.
Just had all the air taken off the filler, and it looks like too much rear brake bias really caught him. Jumped on the binders, tried to keep it off wall, then tried to spin it back around, and I'm thinking Kerry's tires are about whooped right now.
Yeah, we should be coming up to it right now. And no, we're not.
Lap 39 for him, Sam.
Yeah, it's just this software. It's a bit funny.
New program?
Yeah. So that's Kerry Cleaver going around there. Didn't look like he got too much damage from that, so not too bad for Kerry Cleaver. Might want to go in for some new tires though.
That's about the only thing I would do if I was him. Is, make sure if they're uncheck my fast repair. If there's any optional repairs, yeah, take them. As he catches the tail end of the field, pit road open and wholesale pit stops happening for just about everybody.
Well, most of the guys that have not been down pit road yet have now been down pit road. John Poole winning the race off pit road ahead of Kieran Brigelli, Carl Burke, Jeff Welker, Ronnie Osmer, Butch Davis, Timothy Bates, Paul Crumrye, Jeff Clark, Dan Brazenton and Kerry Cleaver. Actually, Kerry Cleaver has not been down pit road yet. You can see him right there. He has not been down pit road. He's just kind of lapped down, actually, so unfortunate
pit
for
road
him.
Was not open for him that time by.
So the people
when this sorts out, take a look at who's going to be leading this piece.
Yeah, Michael Sturgill already made the proclamation before this race began that he was going to win it, but one thing working against him in this one, he's on much older tyres than the man that's right behind him, that's Scott Brinson.
Absolutely. You got to think that, Mike Sturgill's basically going to be a sitting duck when this happens, and you got Brinson, Siefker, and Gonzalez Nunez all right there.
Yeah, let's not count out Byron Rodney. He's not exactly slow.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, Byron Rodney, one of those guys that's known for not running open wheel stuff a lot, but when he does,
he surprises people.
Oh, absolutely.
So
prolific road racer too, which is kind of surprising for a stock car guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, he helped Team ESPN to a podium at Daytona last year, so.
Hey, so did I.
And I did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again coming up here in a couple weeks at Le Mans.
Absolutely, looking forward to that one. Might need to tweak the setup a little bit just to make it a bit more. It is a good setup, but it just needs a bit more. I don't know what it needs.
We'll talk after.
Yeah. Still waiting for Ronnie to test it so we can get his approval on it. So.
Which one?
The one you tweaked.
Okay, so Akira, not Rosa.
Yeah.
Okay. And for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, we nicknamed our car when we podiumed at the 24 Hours Daytona, we nicknamed it Ruby.
Yeah.
So since then, we now have Ruby's Japanese cousin, Akira, and Ruby's Italian cousin, Rosa.
Rosa's very pretty.
Thank you.
Akira's very aggressive.
Absolutely.
Akira will kill you if you don't show her respect.
True story. Fields start to form up 2 by 2. Virgil and Brinson going to be on the front row. Siefker looking to get the lead back. Gonzalez Nunez looking to get some points for leading the lap. Byron Rodney right there. John Poole, Kieran Brigelli, Carl Burke, Jeff Wupker, and Ronnie Osmer rounding out your top 10 as we are currently working lap 45 of 160. And if you are playing the at-home drinking game, that's 4 shots.
Yeah, and if you're not drunk by now, then you've lost. Actually, you've won because you shouldn't be drunk after only 4 shots.
Oh, no. It's 1, then you take 2 on the second caution, you take 3 on the third caution, you take 4 on the fourth caution.
Okay, I see how it works now. Okay.
As the field working its way through the 3-4 complex coming out of turn number 4. Now watch when that green flag comes out. The car is not even off the track yet. Green flag comes out now, and Virgil rolls into it. Siefker gets to go with him.
Oh, one in the wall.
And we've got one into the wall. Still no caution. I didn't see who that was.
I think it was Cleaver because he's... Oh, Jeff Clark. Big wreck for Jeff Clark, and he's got a very damaged car now.
One into the wall.
That is Gonzalez.
That's going to bring out the caution.
Yeah, that's Brigelli, and... Wow, Cleaver almost getting involved again. So we're going to go back and see what happened to Brigelli. It looked like Nunez was involved as well. Oh! Rodney was
the inside and just clobbered the back end of Byron Rodney and pinballed into Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Lots of damage on Nunez's car.
Yeah. Rodney, it looks like he's got off lucky with that one because I'm not seeing any damage on his car.
Bergelli hit him straight in the transmission tunnel.
Yeah. And it looks like Ronnie Osmer was caught up in it as well. He's showing quite some considerable damage as well.
I think Osmer was the first one to go into the wall. Let me go back and look here. Yeah, Osmer was the one that caught the wall when the green initially came out.
Yeah. Scary Cleaver does get his lucky dog here. He gets back on the lead lap, but Scott Brinson, the biggest loser out of that one, started second, dropped to third. Biggest winner out of that one, Nate Siefka, jumping all the way to the lead just before the caution came out. What a run for him. Just
barely got it. But Jeff Clark's car looks like it just went 10 rounds with a meat grinder.
I thought you were going to say Tyson Fury or something, but we'll go with that.
No, it looks like it went 10 rounds with a meat grinder. He just annihilated the inside wall coming off of 2.
Yep, and he's got his car repaired. He's back out on track now, albeit going very slowly. Might have got an EOL for entering the closed pits, which I'm guessing he might have done.
Bergelli just had a throughput.
That's not good. Especially considering Bergelli's just coming off the back of a pretty famous win last week.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Nate Siefka restarts this one. Is he going to let Scott Goodyear be his spirit guide again this week?
Well, I mean, as long as he doesn't let Paul Tracy be his spirit guide.
Well, the way he restarted last week was very much akin to Scott Goodyear's restart in 1995.
Yeah, no, I was thinking more along the lines of the way that Paul Tracy just, would beat the hell out of somebody in the pits after the race.
I don't think...
and then talk just mad smack in post-race interviews.
Nate's a tough guy on the track, but I don't think he's got it in him in real life. So,
you've never seen a Siefker story, have you?
I have.
Just poking, Nate. Just poking.
Oh, as Bergelli locks up the tires coming out of pit road, he's going to be driving like a man possessed from now on, I believe, because he is going to be looking to get back on that lead lap. Remember, last week he went a lap down and still won the race, so it is possible. He is 3 laps down now, though.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other guys that he's got to get by cleanly. He is currently 17th spot. The last car is still running.
I mean, clean isn't in this track's vocabulary, so... yeah. And it's not the drivers, it's the track. Let's just put it that way. The track is very difficult to pass at, and if you do it cleanly, you get a gold star every time you do.
So apparently I'm not the only one having problems with a feline tonight, as Kevin O'Brien is having problems with his cat.
All my cats are outside, so I'm safe.
And according to my lovely fiance, we have a furry pain in the ass.
That's what I call my cats.
I call it a fuzzy psychopath. Anyways, lights are out on the pace car. Siefker taking the outside lane. Field working its way into the 3-4 complex. Siefker, Sturgill, Brinson, Poole, Burke, Webker, Davis, Crumry, Rodney, and Brazelton rounding out your top 10.
There was a joke there. I decided not to say it.
That makes 2 of us. As the field coming out of turn number 4, pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn going on to pit road. Siefker going to have the button. Got about half a second. Green flag's out. Here we go.
Big wreck on the restart. Big wreck.
Wow.
multiple cars involved. Brigelli involved, Cleaver involved, Rodney involved, Burke involved. It looks like Ozma and Kevin O'Brien involved as well, and that might be the end of Ozma's night, you know.
If he's already burned his fast repair, yeah.
Oh, he hasn't got any damage. How the hell did he get away with that? Oh no, side pod's knackered.
So, Sturgill, unfortunately, restarted in the wrong gear. It stacked everybody up behind him, and the cars that were a couple rows behind him nowhere to go, and just, let's be honest, they just ass-packed each other.
Yeah. And Brigelli did not want to see that happen straight after what he's been through, and
yeah, because that just put him a third lap down, unfortunately. Okay.
So
No, that's a lot of damage!
that is a lot of damage. As Byron Rodney in pit road getting repairs. He's going to leave pit road now just after the leaders pass him, so he's going to go a lap down. As Nate Sievka are going to have to do it all over again, but while they are getting things settled out, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with some more racing action in just a few moments.
Do a barrel roll!
There you see Dale Earnhardt, the defending champion, a man who has won here at this racetrack. He has been absolutely second to none in 1987.
We are back live here at Milwaukee. Lights are off on the pace car. We're ready to get going once again. Nate Seacrofted for the outside line for this restart. John Poole going to be on his inside as we wait for the pace car to make that hard left turn onto pit road. And we're going to get the green flag come out once again. There goes the pace car. There goes the green flag. And we are racing once again here at Milwaukee. Seacrofted, decent start. John Poole in second. Brinson up to third. And you see Crumry has made an appearance out of nowhere and making a pass on the outside. And Crumry around out of turn 2. Caution number 7.
Caution number 7 is, looks like Crumry may have just caught the marbles. Working that high line coming through the 1-2 complex. No contact, just around she goes. Wugter, I think, is going to need to go into the pits and get a brand new fire suit because I guarantee you he changed the flavor of his.
Yep, so Crumry going to bring it back to pit road, I believe. He might have already burned his fast repair after he spun earlier. We know Brigelli's out. He's still stricken in pit road, so his race is done. Crumry, we'll find out now.
And it looks like Byron Rodney did some damage.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because he got caught up. He got caught up in that big one in the restart.
Yeah. So he lost a lap. Kerry Cleaver lost a lap. Carl Burke lost a couple laps. Cameron Brigelli now 7 laps down. Last car still running.
So Brinson is in pit road. Probably going to be playing the strategy game at this point. So interesting to see there. It looks like Byron Rodney might have. Yeah, he's getting his lucky dog now. Byron Rodney will be back on the lead lap now. As Crumry's back in pit road as well. Probably going to get a top up of fuel and some fresh tyres. As we see Byron Rodney just coming out of turn 4 just to catch the pack up again through 1 and 2. Shall we get an interview in? Keep ourselves entertained.
We can.
Let's bring up our ESPN cohort, shall we?
Sure.
Will I grab him or should you?
I'm checking something out here.
I don't know why it's telling me to pass you.
Byron Rodney, Sam up in the booth, you got a copy?
Hey, I got you there, Sam.
Our ESPN cohort on the track right now, giving us a bit of a track report as he's behind the wheel. How's it going out there? I know you were caught up in that start line incident there, though.
Yeah, it's going good. Car, I didn't realize with the new adjustment or the new update came out, fixed sets, we've got control of the weight checker, so I didn't map the buttons for that. Been trying to manually change it as the run goes on because I can loosen the car up as we go. I've found myself as high as 5th, as low as, lap down, and I'm sitting here P12 again now, looking to get some more.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of cautions out here tonight. What is the main cause of the cautions? We're seeing a lot of people drifting up through the turns 3-4 complex.
It's from what we're seeing in the driver's seat perspective, a lot of the cautions are single car spins just getting loose coming off of that turn. It's just pushing a little too hard with cold tires is what the issue to me seems to be.
All right, there, Byron. Well, we're slowly getting away from this race. So, what do you reckon you can do from here? I know you've already burned the fast repair now.
Well, I got to drop to the end of the line here because I was a lucky dog, got back on the lead lap. Going to see what I can do after this restart and slowly work my way on up. Tire wear seems to be good, so I'm going to go on a long run strategy and just see if I can hold it. I'm looking to top 10 it tonight is my goal.
All right, Byron. Good luck for the rest of the race, and hopefully we'll speak to you after.
Thank you.
That was Byron Rodney joining me in the booth there, and seems like he's playing the long run strategy here, Tony. Is that the good strategy to go with, or do you just need to kind of keep with the short run pace?
Well, the thing is, it's always a good idea to keep that long run strategy in your mindset, because if this does go green, Byron's going to be in good shape because he's already got his mind thinking, long run. But the wise money is to, to really, if you can get tires, get tires.
Yeah, and that's what...
Save your tires. But definitely, if you can get them, get them.
Yeah, luckily this league hasn't implemented the tire limit rule yet, so that's a good thing. Hopefully...
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, I know. But they can take as many tires as they want. I just want to note one small thing that's happened during this caution. Scott Brinson getting an EOL drop into the back of the field.
Yeah, unsafe pit entry. There's a new thing that's been implemented. Tracks that have a line like this one does for pit in and pit out, if you cross over that line to go into the pits, like where the pace car just drove, the pace car just got an unsafe pit entry.
Yeah, as we go back to green once again, Nate Seeker off to a decent start there, pulling away from John Poole very quickly, and Jeff Webker already on the back of Poole as they fly off out of turn 2. Butch Davis up to P4, and we've got a big gaggle of cars right behind him. Timothy Bates, Dan Brazington, Ronnie Osmond, Michael Sturgill, and Kevin O'Brien. I said it earlier, as we've got Sturgill around, and that's going to bring out another caution, and it's turn 4 again. That is really playing havoc with these drivers here tonight.
Absolutely, and I would like to point out that Carl Burke has put it on the hauler.
Yeah. So, Sturgill bringing out yet another caution here tonight. We came in tonight with pretty low expectations. Is that what's... from a caution perspective. Not from a entertainment perspective, because from what we have seen tonight, it has been pretty entertaining, but...
Okay, so that's caution number 8. Everybody take 8 shots.
That's as in 8 total, like 8 shots as in 8 shots, not...
As in 8 shots right now.
Yeah.
So there was the first caution, you took 1 shot. The second caution, you took 2 shots. The third caution, you took 3 shots. The fourth caution, you drank 4 shots at that caution. So we're now up to 8. On top of previous 7, the previous 6, the previous 5, the previous 4, the previous 3, the previous 2, and the initial 1 that you took. So if you can still see clearly enough to type in chat, let us know what your drink of choice is.
And yes, I did just say that in the Facebook chat. Anyway.
And I would like to point out too that just putting this out there, I am 7 years sober.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
While we're under caution once again, I'm going to bring up Mr. Seifka because he's for some reason requested an interview, so I'm going to drag him up here and I'll let you have a word with him.
And I quote, "Interview me, I'm bored." So, Nate Seifker, I don't know how bored you can possibly get leading this piece right now. It's definitely been an eventful race for your teammates. I know that.
Yeah, it's been eventful for the whole team. I think we did a really good job learning the build here from the get-go and learning what we can do. And the teams, some members of the team struggled tonight so far, but I think you got a 1 through 5 basically working here. Actually, 1 through 6. So we feel like we got this build pretty solid. I think we did a lot of research with what we knew was going on with the build. We did a practice session last night, and I think we got a really good handle on this build for sure. We're translating that into the race.
Well, walk us through how difficult this track is under normal circumstances to get around, not to mention the fact that iRacing has thrown some curveballs at you guys since they brought out the new build yesterday.
I think the things that iRacing threw us have actually helped us. I don't think it's helped others. I think it's helped the majority of us. That's kind of what we worked on our stuff. We studied, we did our homework, and that's why we're running to where we are. I'd say we're much better positioned and much easier to run this track than a couple other people further back in the field, I would have to say.
That sounds like a fair assumption to make, Nate. It's definitely still a long race to go. We're still not even to halfway. So let the missus know that if she is playing the at-home drinking game, we are on caution 8, so it's taking 8 shots at this caution. At the next caution, she'll take 9 shots at that caution.
Yeah, we ain't playing no games with that kind of stuff. She just got home, so I don't think she wants to catch back up. So we're not gonna play no games tonight. We're just gonna be cool and try to get to the end, see what we can do. I think pit strategy will have to eventually come into this if we get a long enough run. But at the moment, I don't think the strategy is going to come into play. I think it's just going to be a matter of who can get clean air. I think if John gets clean air, I think he's got this wrapped up. If I keep the clean air, I think I got it wrapped up. Honestly, if anybody in the top 5 or top 10 for that matter gets clean air, they got it wrapped up. So we'll see how it shakes out here. Hopefully we get more green flag laps because, we came here to race. Not I pace, so
considering that Nate just jinxed the entire field, ladies and gentlemen, that's Nate Siefer, Ottumwa, Iowa, P.O. Box OU812.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Nate. Well, good luck for the rest of the race. Hopefully we'll get to speak to you after pace lights are off.
Thank you, guys.
Which the lights are out on the pace car. Nate Siefer is electing to take the outside line. John Poole, Jeff Welker, Butch Davis, Timothy Bates, Dan Brazelton, Ronnie Osmer, Jeff Clark, Scott Brinson, and Paul Crumry. Awesome wreck avoidance under this current caution, rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, just paying attention to the live chat here. Ernie Ludwig just chimed up and he says he's drinking cherry whiskey. The wife calls it cough syrup.
Fair enough. That sounds like cough syrup.
Yeah. Pace car is about to make the left turn onto pit road. They see John Poole trying to stay as close to Nate Siefer as possible. Does not want to let him get away on this restart. Pace car is off. Green flag will fly, and we are racing once again here at Milwaukee. Hopefully, we can get a decent run in this time as they come flying into turn 1. Butch Davis on to 3rd place after dispatching Jeff Wilker very easily there on that restart.
I think Wubker tried to restart in 2nd gear to be on the safe side, and here comes Davis to the inside of Poole. Looking to just bomb it in there, going through 3. Gives Poole plenty of room. Doesn't want to take out his teammate as they are 3 wide back around Dan Brazelton right now.
Yeah, I just saw that coming to an end there as they come out of turn 4. And from what we've seen from turn 4 already tonight, that's not where you want to be going 3 wide. As we're seeing some battling going on there between Paul Crumry and Ronnie Osmer. Osmer's starting to fall backwards here, I'm guessing. The 55 just want to take it easy at this part of the race.
Absolutely. As you got Crumry, Osmer, Sturgill, and Clark. Just throw a blanket over those guys, and Dan Brazelton as well. Those guys are just mired right now as Luis Gonzalez Nunez trying to make some headway on Kevin O'Brien further back in the field.
Byron Rodney. It's just past Byron Rodney there for P14. So Nunez trying to make his way up through this track. He said last week when we interviewed him that he's never been here before, and that's pretty much showing true here at the moment. As John Poole, after being under threat from Butch Davis, has pulled right away from him. Jeff Wilkins just got around him as well. So again, Butch Davis showing that early run of pace, but as the run goes on, he starts fading ever so slightly, Tony.
Well, it's one of those deals where, this track will eat your tires on you, as I believe that was Butch Davis just brushing the outside wall coming off the 4. Like I said earlier, to equate this to a NASCAR track, this is the open wheel version of Darlington. This track is very abrasive. It will destroy your tires in 5 laps or less if you let it. And tire management is going to be the key to the victory tonight. Knowing when to take tires, when you can kind of push it a little bit further. But, this track is deadly on tires as Brinson making his way up right now to the back of Butch Davis, looking to make some headway to try to reel in Wubker when he gives a chance, as Brinson to the inside.
Yeah, Brinson not able to make that
And yellow
move pay
flag
off, and it's Ronnie Osmer again. Oh dear, Ronnie Osmer, what have you done?
Well, you just Alt F forward. Oh!
Yeah, he lost it and hit the barrels coming out of turn 4. Wow. That is a heartbreak.
That wasn't the barrels. That was the concrete wall just before pit road. That's one of those deals. This track is deceptive as far as where you can and can't place the power down. If you go back and take a look at where Ronnie lost it, he was. If you'll notice going through 3 and 4, there is that strip of darker pavement. If you get 2 tires outside of that, 2 tires on it, and you're trying to lay the power down, the car's going around on you. And I don't care what car you're in, the car's going around on you.
Absolutely
because you got the new pavement and the old pavement right there. The new pavement's going to have a little more grip than the old pavement.
Yeah, you see that dark patch at the bottom of the track. That's where it's been newly paved. On the outside, that's where it's it's not really new pavement on the inside. It's just where it's been patched up over the years, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where everybody runs, because this track it's got some banking to it, but it's not really anything to really write home about.
It's basically New Hampshire on steroids.
Not the drug I was going to say, but yeah, we can go with that.
Yeah, we'll keep it PG.
Sure.
So, people have pitted during this caution. We've had Butch Davis, Scott Brinson, Timothy Bates, Paul Cromwell, Jeff Clark, Byron Rodney, Dan Brinson, and Kerry Cleaver all come down pit road, and Kevin O'Brien coming down pit road himself now again. So, and I did mention O'Brien likes to stay at the back for the early part of the races, but as it progresses, likes to make his way forward. He's playing I'm going to call him the rubber bandit, because he drops back and then pings back again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, Kevin O'Brien's one of those guys that you don't really talk about him in the first half of the race, and then in the last half of the race, you're like, oh, where did he come from?
Yeah, we're in the last half of the race now, so...
Exactly. But, just to give you some specs on this track, ladies and gentlemen, it's a 1 mile in length, or for those of you who are not on the metric, or are not off of the metric system yet, it's 1.6 kilometers. Turns are banked at 9.25 degrees. Now, you ask, what does 9.25 degrees feel like? It's basically the slope of a 2 liter of soda. Where the cap is, leading down to the body of from the neck to the body of the bottle, that's about 18 degrees. So about half of that steepness.
Yeah. The very, very unique track is Milwaukee, and it's showing that here tonight. We've just had a request from Kieran Brigelli. He wants to join us in the booth for the rest of the race, apparently.
I'm all for that.
Okay, so let me drag him up to the booth there as he's going to join us up here as Kieran Brigelli.
Fresh out of the infield care center.
Yeah, I know, right? Kieran, you asked to join us in the booth here, so you're here in the booth.
Yeah, it's thank you for having me. Yeah, it was a fun race. I ran out of talent, and then I ran out of hardware, and then I ran out of talent again. So here we are.
Fair enough. But definitely an interesting series of events that have played out so far. Would like to remind everybody, if you are at home playing the at-home drinking game, you're up to nine shots.
Oh boy, what's the drinking game?
That's where every time a caution comes out, you take another shot.
Holy smokes, we're up to 9 yellows?
Oh yeah, so at the first caution, you take 1 shot. At the second caution, you take 2 shots at that caution. And at the third one, you take 3 shots during that caution.
Oh,
So you've now
3
taken
cautions
6
in, you're shit-faced.
Well, three cautions in, you're taking 6 shots at that time. The lights are out on the pace car. Nate Seifert going to have the button one more time. John Poole, Jeff Webker, Mike Sturgill, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, Butch Davis, Scott Brinson, Tim Bates, Paul Crumride, Jeff Clark, and Paul Crumride and Jeff Clark rounding out your top 10. As the pace car makes that hard left turn onto pit road, Seifert pulls the trigger. Poole goes with him.
A little bit of wheel
And
spin
here
on Poole
comes
there.
Sturgill.
Sturgill with a good restart. Look at Butch, though. Butch on the outside. He's going to make the move from fourth, looking for third. Going to get around John Poole to follow Sturgill up to the third place. Butch Davis in the 43 slot him up there. Nate Seifert still your leader.
Yeah, but we've seen that a lot from Butch Davis here tonight. Jumping forward very early, but dropping back almost as quickly. Hopefully, he does pick up that long run pace as the race goes on. But in third place at the moment, as they're all bunched up right behind him, John Poole, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, Jeff Wilker, Scott Brinson, Timothy Bates, Paul Crumride, and Jeff Clark at the back of that little pack there. They are all over each other right now.
Your 100 winner Tim Bates all over the transmission tunnel of Scotty Brinson right now. Got Paul Crumride working at his inside. Bates just marred in traffic in the incredible Hulk car right now. As Seifert continuing to show the way, starting to walk away from the rest of the field. 1.6 to the good on that last lap. And you've got a ton of traffic as the field's starting to get strung out a little bit. What we got to hear here, talk to us about the difference between old and new tires here at Milwaukee.
I think it really depends on your driver preference. I mean, John and I stayed out for a really long time on our tires that we started the race with. The newer tires, they'll rotate a lot better really early on. I would say they're over the course of the run, they're about even. As soon as you get the tires hot, it's they about fall into where they were. They're really good for 2 or 3 laps, and then they settle out and snug up.
Yeah, almost contact there again between Wilker and Brinson while you were talking there, guys.
Yeah, just a slugfest right now for your top.
Brinson missed it.
Oh, Brinson falling back behind Nunez. Let me guess, more words being exchanged.
Walker's saying that he's got to lift early because the car won't rotate otherwise. He's got a lot of wear on his tires. And
on the top too.
And here comes Nunez around the outside.
Yeah, Nunez is going to try and cross him over, going to the inside through turns 3 and 4. It looks like he's going to get the move done here. And here comes Bates taking a piece out of the back end of Brinson's car there as he's looking for a way by the 14.
He got it.
Only a matter of time.
Oh, he got it. That was nobody's fault. Jeff checked up for the corner there, and Scott ran in. Scott he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, so Webker facing the wrong way on the one-way street, as my good buddy Mr. Tony Trapassa would usually say.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Tempers are starting to flare as we are currently working caution number 10.
Tell him how many.
Say again?
Tell him how many.
I put the over-under at 15.
No, how many shots they're supposed to take now?
10.
That's not 10 total. You've got to take 10 shots now.
Oh yeah, no, you're up to a lot of shots if you are playing the at-home drinking game.
Yeah, if you're not...
Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to play the at-home drinking game with alcohol. You can play it with coffee, tea, soda, sports drink, water.
Absinthe.
Just play the game. It's just playing the game.
Arsenic.
Cyanide.
Chloroform.
No, that only works in rag form. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Hey, hon, does this rag smell like chloroform?
Don't ask Julie that.
Have relations with myself. All right.
That'll happen in big time motor racing.
Anyway,
no, my better half just told me to have relations with myself.
Anyway,
you refer to her as my better half because she is.
Michael Sturgill taking over the lead here after everybody pit side. Scott Brinson and Kerry Cleaver also staying out as we're working caution number 10 here. Nate Siefka winning the race off pit road. Luis Gonzalez Nunez up to P5. Butch Davis in P6. P7 is Timothy Bates. Paul Crumright still hanging strong there in P8. P9 is Dan Brazenton. And Kevin O'Brien is still right there as well. He's in P10. John Poole having a few issues here. He's dropped back to P12.
And we're going to wait for this lap to kind of cycle out. I'm only showing 12 cars on the lead lap as Walker 2 laps down, Byron Rodney 3 laps down.
Byron Rodney's out.
I believe. Is he?
Yeah, looks like he is. I don't see him in the server.
Sturgill on the old tires. Last minute lap 67. Looks like Brinson last minute lap 79.
Let me find the old timer.
He wouldn't appreciate saying that.
Hey, he's 10 years older than I am.
Fair enough.
And I'm an old fart.
Oh, there he is.
Who's the old fart in the booth here?
I said, you're 10 years older than I am, and I'm an old fart.
Yeah.
You're only as old as the woman you feel. Anyway.
Well then.
Not touching that one. That's going to be like the... we've all seen the video of... the 2 guys standing at the podium for Family Feud. Steve Harvey goes,
Nope.
Which one of the 7 dwarves is your wife most like in bed? And both of them look at each other, just shaking their heads, going, nope, I ain't answering it. Nope. Nope. Not taking that one.
Thankfully, one of them went for Bashful. Or what, they asked 100 men what would make you cry, what part of the body would make a man cry if you pulled the hair out of, and someone said the penis.
Oh dear.
Actually, the absolute worst one is if somebody pulls the hair out of the knuckles on your toes.
That hurts.
That hurts badly.
I don't know who you guys have been letting pull hairs. That's what I want to know.
Oh, golly. So social distancing definitely not a thing here at the Milwaukee Mile in iRacing. As stands are packed here for the Joint Chiefs 160. Mike Sturgill, Scott Brinson, Nate Siefker, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, Butch Davis, Tim Bates, Paul Crumright, Dan Brazelton, Jeff Clark, and John Poole rounding out your top 10. So, you know, you guys have been here all season. I've only been here since Indy. Give me your thoughts on the season that John Poole has had.
Dominant.
Darren, we'll start with you because you're his roommate, or you're his teammate.
Dominant. Absolutely dominant. He's been absolutely on it since round 1. He's led. He's been at the top of the only time he's not been at the top of the point standing is it was after round 1, which is when Scott Brinson won. Any time after that, he's been at the top. Been absolutely dominant since round 2.
Fair enough. As green flag comes out, Sturgill wasting no time pulling the trigger. Brinson slightly asleep at the switch as Nate Siefker all over his transmission tunnel right now. Luis Gonzalez Nunez working, gets the door shut as he tries to work the outside as they head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I found out when I was out on the track, dirty air out here is, aero push is real when you're in traffic.
Yeah, Scott Brinson finding that out to his cost there as he's already dropped back to P6 now. And as his teammate Paul Crumright looking to his time, I wonder if Brinson has some damage from that contact with Jeff Webker.
Yeah, listening to the in-game chat is along with you guys. Scotty's got some wing damage. You just said it.
Yep, as we're looking at Michael Sturgill still leading this piece with Nate Siefka in second. Interesting thing here, though, Nate Siefka is on fresh tyres, so it won't be long before Siefka is on the back of him as caution comes out again. We've got Luis Gonzalez Nunez in trouble this time round. So let's take a look and see what happened here. And Crumroy getting into the back of him there. And
Those two are like magnets. It's the second time they found each other tonight.
Yeah.
Nunez taking it behind the wall. He says, "See you in Pocono, boys."
Who said that?
Nunez did.
Nunez.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's the first retirement we've seen from Nunez this season, though. That's pretty impressive.
Putting it on the hauler and hauling it all the way to Pocono Mountains in lovely picturesque Pennsylvania.
That's gonna be such a fun race.
So you're
That's
gonna
one
be,
way to put it.
You're going to be looking to get race win number 2 there, I'm guessing, Kieran.
You know, here's the thing. Sam and I both have a love-hate relationship with Pocono International Speedway.
Well, mine's more of a hate-hate relationship, but yeah.
That's why I call it Pocono.
Exactly.
They don't call it the Tricky Triangle for nothing, man. That thing, it's a fun racetrack.
Well, let's see.
You don't know anything about turn 4 there, though. Ask Ronnie Osborne.
Exactly. In Indy cars, both Sam and I have crashed so hard, the car has broken the space-time continuum.
I got the hand of God there one time.
So did I. I ended up in the 12th row
hand of God.
I ended up in the 12th row of the parking lot across the street, outside turn 1.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know, if you do like what you're seeing here as far as content here on ESPN, we do need to remind you to
Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Reflog, reshare it, tattoo it on your face.
Don't make me go get my guitar there, man.
Please don't. Anyway.
I don't want to.
Paul Crumroy in pit road, followed by his teammate Kevin O'Brien. We are down to 11 drivers left in this race, guys. Attrition being a very big factor here. I'm not sure Jeff Wilker's going to be back out of pit road. I'm pretty sure he's done for the night.
Short track racing for Indy, man. It's the Milwaukee Mile. It's a flat short track. I mean, cars just you get in that dirty air. It's just almost impossible to do anything with it. Starting from the inside was a pain. Starting from the outside, it got run over. I mean, it was attrition's big at this one.
It was very tough. The car unloads really easily with the flat race surface. I mean, there's no sidewall for the right rear to grip on. So the car carries the right rear carries it around super easily. It's just tough to race. It's a fun car to drive, but it's very hard to race here.
So with only 11 drivers, with only 11 drivers left on the track, though, we should be seeing some green flag runs here, ideally.
Ideally, yeah. If you'll all excuse me, I need to go talk to my good friend John. He's got a crappy job, and we need to talk about it today.
Okay. But anyway, lights are still on the pace car, guys. We've had a lot of different lead changes. Sturgill's still leading this piece. Who's your money on?
Well, you know what? I watched Nate Seifker go out there and lay one hell of a lap in qualifying, but that's in clean air. I've seen him make some moves around the track, especially when he came back around me when he went in the pits and I stayed out. It's anyone's game at this point. If Scotty had a faster pair and he used it, look for Scotty to work his way back up to the front. But I got to put my money on Nate Seifker on this one.
I gotta agree with him. It's hard to go against Nate Seifker. I mean, Nate put down a solid lap in qualifying, only one to get down there in the O's, and he's led a bunch of laps so far already today. He seems to have the ass end of that thing figured out. I like the way Butch Davis is looking too. He's burned a lot of laps in practice with me. He knows what he needs from the car these last few laps here, and he knows that there's only 55 laps to go. Between Nate, Butch, and I would look for a push from John here towards the end of the race.
Yeah, don't count out Timothy Bates here because he is very much a surprise driver when it comes to trying to win races. Remember, we saw him come from absolutely nowhere to take the win at Indy, so...
He's the closer. Closer. Mr. Where did he come from, Bates?
Yeah. I'm not going to count out Dan Brasington either. I mean, he's a very talented driver. And Scott Brinson, you can never count him out either. Even though he's all the way back down in P10 right now.
Yeah, listening to the in-game chat, not a happy camper about P10 right at the moment.
No, I wouldn't be either.
No, I'm not a happy camper about how he got there.
Okay, well, pace car's about to peel off into pit road, and here we go. Lights. Yep. Sturgill off to a very good start there, but Sivka right on his tail as they fly off into turn one. Butch Davis holding on to third place. Timothy Bates into fourth. It looks like Kerry Cleaver running wide there. Oh, big wreck there. Kerry Cleaver and Jeff Clark getting into it there.
You know, cold tires on this track have just been murder for everyone on these restarts. A little bit of way too much aggression on the start on cold tires. This is why you're seeing what you're seeing happen. There's been a lot of talk about it in the race chat while we were driving. A lot of talk about it pre-race, but no one really took it to heart. You cannot push on this thing until you get at least 2 or 3 laps on these tires and get them up to temp.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of impatience on track, and it's really showing in this one. Kieran, what are your thoughts on it?
It's just a tough racetrack, man. It's a really dynamic situation going on for these guys right now. You got guys up front on old tires. You got guys behind them on new tires. The cold tire aspect of it, I mean, it's really tough. Like, this thing's got a lot of grip from the rear end when the tires are cold like that, and it's just wanting to bring the rear end of these things around. I mean, you saw from the 43 on the restart, he bobbled going through 1 and 2, and then you saw a little further back when the calamity happened.
Yeah, but you gotta be wondering also, Kieran, what would you be doing with your tire pressures? Can we change tire? No, we can't change tire pressures on our pit stops here, can we?
No, we're not there yet. I think we got a couple adjustments in him. We have the weight jacker now. We have the bars, and I think there's 1 or 2 other goodies in there. I haven't gone through all of them yet, but
I noticed that we had the weight jacker. You know, if I'd have noticed that before race time, I'd have had some buttons mapped for it.
Yeah, the nice thing about that is you can adjust it from your in-car menu as well. It's a black box. It's all there.
Almost impossible to do in VR, I'm going to tell you from experience.
I believe it. I haven't tried VR yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I've heard it's a game changer.
I'm trying to try VR.
It is a game changer. It is. I can guarantee it. I went from, I had someone that was in, I went from a big giant screen to VR. You can judge your distances so much better. You're on a restart. You don't have to lay back a little bit. If you're second place car, wait for that first one. You know how you keep them ahead of you a little bit so you can see them on your screen? No, you can sit there behind your wheel, turn your head. There he is.
What a deal.
Some strategy going on here for Rated R Racing. All 3 cars making it into pit road. Scott Brinson, Paul Crumwright, and Kevin O'Brien all into pit road to get some fresh tyres and fuel. One team playing the strategy game here tonight.
They could possibly, with the way the cautions are going out, 52 laps to the end of this race, they can do it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say, I think Sturgill's on the outside. Sturgill, I think, is going to have to come for fuel one more time, but I would not be shocked to see the rest of these guys come one more time for tires only. I mean, you look, position 2 through 5, they all pitted lap 92. Everyone else behind them lap 100 or more. That's in the fuel window. It's a 50-lap fuel window here at Milwaukee, and at this point, we're getting to where I talked about last week, where you're taking tires and not fuel, and the car gets better and better. And that may end up playing into the end of this race here. We get a bunch more yellows.
Yeah, and Siefker he stayed out on over 40 laps on a stint. Turned his fastest lap on 40-lap old tires.
Oh, I'm not surprised whatsoever. The cold tire, the difference between cold tires and hot tires here in the grip is it's huge.
Yeah, and I think that's what's happening. Scotty Brinson brought it back down pit road, topped it off again.
Yep. There he goes.
So, with about 50 laps to go, we are coming down to the crunch time. We've got 10 cars left in this race now after out of the 20 that 20 that started. A lot of big hitters going out of this one. Nunez out, Wubka out,
Rodney out, Osmer out.
Yeah. Brigetti out.
Race winner out. Yeah.
As if I was ever a big hitter.
Well,
I feel good about this race too, man. I thought we were going to be really good tonight. It's a shame. It's a fun racetrack.
No Limit Racing could still come away with the race win here.
I think we'll be good. I think the team will do really good at the end of the night. There's a lot of them still in it.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm team no rated R, but you know, I gotta stay unbiased.
We gotta stay unbiased. Hey, we are unbiased in here. We have respect for both.
Since when?
Quiet you. Anyway, lights are off on the pace car. We're ready to go racing once again. For how long?
I'll be right back, gentlemen.
Okay. For how long we do not know, but we will go back racing regardless at the end of this lap. Sturgill opted for the outside line, Sivka on the inside. But like you said, guys, it's anybody's race at this point as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Sturgill still your leader, but can he hold on those older tyres? We'll find out in just a second as the pace car about to make the left turn on to pit road. There goes the pace car now. Green flag will fly and we'll resume racing on lap 111 of 160. 50 laps to go here at Milwaukee, and Butch Davis already looking to the outside of Nate Sivka as they fly through 1 and 2. Davis might actually pull this move off there. If he can get a decent run, he will get it done, and Sivka diving in, but I think it might be too little too late. It's not. Sivka going to hold on. Great recovery move there by Sivka.
Some hot bottom right there.
Yeah.
That was an amazing restart from Butch right there. Sivka, you can tell the tire started up pretty loud with the tires. I don't know what the deal is with Butch here. He seems to drop it back a little bit. Bates poking in there for third. Nate's hot on Sturgill's tail there. Wow, he's rolling in some really solid bottom in 3 and 4. He's got his marks dialed in.
Yeah, so Sturgill in a bit of trouble here as they make their way towards turn 1. We're on lap 113 and 160 here. Timothy Bates up to 3rd place now after passing Butch Davis. A great drive for him so far tonight. Scott Brinson, meanwhile, already back up to P5. His recovery drive is on at this point. He's going to be chasing down the 43 now as they come through turns 3 and 4.
Nate's on the button right here. Looks like he's going to pop on Sturgill. He's take the lead going through 1 and 2. He clears him. Solid move right there, putting Sturgill in the middle. Going down the back straight, looks like Sturgill's got a run. He's going to look for it, but Sivka's going to defend on the middle right there. What a run there from the 10 car.
Yeah, and the 3rd place car, Timothy Bates, he's got a windshield full of these two battling back and forth. He's got to be liking what he's seeing, because as long as these two are running and they get in those side-by-sides, he can get right up in there and pick where he needs to be.
Yeah,
Scott Brinson.
Go on, sorry.
So Scott Brinson has actually caught Butch Davis now and is right on his tail as they made their way through 3 and 4. Brinson looking to move even higher. He won the last time we came to Milwaukee, so definitely do not count him out. And he's on the freshest tyres out of everybody, so he's going to have a big advantage if he can get around Butch Davis, that is.
It's so hard to pass here at Milwaukee. You get down in that low lane, you lose so much momentum being pinched down from the car up above. The high side can hold some momentum, but it pushes up, pretty darn tight to that wall. As you see, Scotty Brinson finally gets the job done with a slide job.
Yeah, Brinson around Butch Davis now will set his sights on Timothy Bates for that 3rd spot. Nate Sivka really pulling away from Michael Sturgill now. Sturgill really looking like he's struggling on those old tyres now as Timothy Bates is now starting to reel him in.
You got to be wondering, the guys that stayed out, do they have enough in the go fast in the tank to get them to the end? I know Scotty's got enough. He came in, topped it off under that last caution. Scotty feeling confident about it, but did the top 2 have enough?
I think Nate does. I don't think Sturgill does. I think Sturgill's going to end up being way short.
And that was another adjustment that we noticed that we have available now to us, gentlemen, mapping.
Yes,
fuel mapping.
We do have fuel mapping available to us.
As we welcome Tony Trapasso back to the booth. Welcome back, Tony.
Thank you. Now, for those that don't know what you guys are talking about with the mapping and the other adjustments that are available now.
There's a caution.
Go ahead, guys.
There's a caution.
John Poole. John Poole in trouble this time by losing the back end out of turn 2. No damage for the champion-elect as he just goes through a nice little wild ride out of turn 2 onto the backstretch.
He's putting on a show for the fans. John Poole, little spin and continue. What do we call that? What do we call that? A 720, guys?
Something like that. But
I lost count after 1.
You usually do. Anyway, Sivka going to stay out. Looks like Mike Sturgill finally going to bring it down to pit road with Timothy Bates, Butch Davis, Dan Brazenton, Kevin O'Brien coming down pit road, Paul Crumry coming down. No, Crumry's going to stay out as well.
Crumry and Brinson both staying out.
Yeah, Brinson and Crumry on fresher tyres though. And Brinson does have a slight advantage over Sivka here. He's on fresher tyres and does have a full tank of fuel as well. So watch for Brinson to be putting those moves on this next restart.
Well, like I was asking before the caution came out, explain to the fans that don't drive these cars on a regular basis what you guys are talking about when you're talking about the new adjustments that are available on these cars in a fixed setup series like this.
I think, yeah, Kieran, you might be able to.
Let me take it away on this because I spent a lot of time figuring this stuff out during the month of May. Basically, the fixed setup series now they permit us to adjust the stiffness of the front end and the rear end, as well as the weight jacker, which is a piston in the right rear of the car that expands and contracts to change the the cross weight of the car. So, more positive on the weight jacker is going to make the car, it's going to put more weight on the nose, make the car want to come around on you. You want to take weight jacker away, it'll tighten the car up. In addition to those two adjustments, or three adjustments you want to call it, we also have the fuel mix knob in effect now. You'll see that a lot at the road courses play a big effect. The road course, or I'm not sorry, the road courses, the ovals, the speedways especially, you'll see a lot of fuel saving guys dial back to like 3 or 4 on the knob. On the road courses, there's 2 different throttle mappings at 6 and 8 or 6 and 7, excuse me, that are really good for off the bottom of the corner acceleration, and then 8 is just straight up caution only fuel save. But yeah, we've got a lot to play with now. It's really going to make. I enjoy it personally. I enjoy the challenge of how to find like basically we all have the same baseline setup, and it's up to us as drivers to figure out what we like for us.
And I also want to chime in on that. It takes a fixed set series, gives the driver all the in-car, in-cockpit adjustments, and it starts training you more for an open set. It kind of brings you into, hey, now I know what I can do with this car, and it starts making you want to investigate, all right, well, what do swing rates and tire pressures do? What does wings do, on the other adjustments? So it opens up and it starts getting you a more understanding of how the air and how the mechanical suspension works on getting these cars to hold a corner.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
So, lights are still on the pace car. Nate Sivka, your leader. Scott Brinson in second. Paul Crumry in third. Timothy Bates in fourth. And Butch Davis rounding out your top 5. Only 10 cars running in this one, Tony. It's the attrition still taking hold here.
Yeah, but, we kind of knew that was going to be the case right off the rip. As far as this was going to be a survival race, and that was pretty much all you could hope for, is, just have something that's going to be around when all is said and done.
Absolutely, as the lights do go off on the pace car this time by. We are ready to go racing once again. 10 cars left in this one, and we're expecting, well, I said this last time, we're expecting to bring this one to the checker flag under green flag conditions, but John Poole decided to put a show on for the crowd and have a little spin out of turn 2, even though there's no crowd on the outside of turn 2. But he did it anyway. So, well, there's a crowd on the infield. I suppose you'd put on a show for them.
Yeah, if you take a look at the grandstands here, social distancing not in effect.
I don't think social distancing is in effect anywhere right now, but that's another story.
Well, I think I haven't heard a word about virus in the news here in the States lately.
Don't mention the V word. I don't know what V word.
Anyways.
Pace car is off. Nate Sivka gets us rolling again. Brinson is on the lap pedal as well as Bates looking to the outside of Crumry coming out of turn 2. Gets around him. Great restart for Timothy Bates there on this restart. And wow, this is looking very spicy behind Timothy Bates with three wide. Wow, as Brinson holding on to second place there, just ahead of Timothy Bates, but Paul Crumright is getting eaten alive by the rest of the pack here. Wow.
Yeah, it's just a pack of angry dogs right now behind Crumright.
As many causes as we've had, guys are anxious to get out there and get running, on a few more green lap runs. And now that we don't have but a handful of green laps left, it's going to get angry. It's going to get dicey out here.
34 laps remaining. They come flying out of turn 2. Sivka out to a 0.6 of a second lead over Scott Brinson, and Brinson doing everything he can to try and close that gap between himself and the number 10 here. Brinson hungry for a win. Timothy Bates would love to get another win here after winning the big one in Indianapolis, and Butch Davis looking for his first win, as well as Michael Sturgill. John Poole, after putting that show on to bring out the most recent caution, now deciding he wants to use the speed in that car and pass a few people now.
Absolutely. This field's starting to get stretched out, but you still have that big gaggle of cars battling it out for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Right now, Nate Tiefer showing everyone that clean air is king right now. Scotty Brinson doing everything he can to catch up to him, but when he gets up to him, how many times have we said it here, guys? Catching is one thing, getting around is something else.
Yeah, but Scott Brinson is the only driver I know of that can actually break a gap like he can. Clean air means nothing to Scott Brinson. If he's chasing someone's down, he will do everything in his power to try and catch him, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. He is not letting Sivka get away at all.
0.7 separation.
Now he's clung to that gap for about 3 laps now, from what I've been watching.
30 laps to go now. As this race coming to a conclusion here at Milwaukee. Remember, next week we are off to Pocono for the finale of this series, of the season. And me and Tony have said it before, if we have anything to do with it, there will be a season 11.
Very much so.
Yeah. Anyway, Timothy Bates is very much comfortably in a top 3 position. Michael Sturgill has gone away from John Poole now. He's currently sitting in P4. Butch Davis is falling backwards now. However, he is in a nice little battle there with Dan Brasington. Kerry Cleaver moving his way forward now as well. Kevin O'Brien up there. Paul Crumright has completely lost the pack. I wonder if Crumright has a bit of damage still on that car from the damage he got earlier.
That's a good possibility, because, you think of all of the dumpster fires that unfortunately Paul has been thrown into tonight. There's a good possibility that there is some underlying suspension damage on the number 3 Budweiser vehicle.
Yep. Brinson closing the gap even more on Nate Sivka. This is not over by any means of the word.
Can't shake him.
No.
Actually, Scotty's slowly but surely coming down, reeling it back in. I've been watching the time difference. 0.7, 0.6, 0.8. He's just slowly just stalking him. Nate makes one mistake, Scotty's going to be all over him.
Yeah, we just said that, Byron.
I don't mean to be redundant, but redundancy is redundant.
Well, you know what? Sorry
like
for me for answering the fan mail.
Well,
you guys are funny.
At least he's not going military intelligence, because that's just an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Like jumbo shrimp.
Or hot water heater.
And I do want to point out that I have the absolute most awesome fiance on the planet.
What's she done for you this time?
It involves
Pork and
food.
salt potatoes.
Where's mine? Damn it.
It involved food.
Good run. He's making good time on Sivka on entry there in turn 3, it looks like. I don't know where. It's tough. These laps click around, trying to see where Scott's going to make this time up, because the dirty air is a thing here at Milwaukee. And it looks like he's doing a good job with that late apex. It's tough, man. You're clawing inches and inches and inches back until you can set the guy up for a move.
Well, Milwaukee is one of Scott Brinson's tracks. He's done it so many times in the past been chasing people down, trying to get those wins away. He's won in official races here. He's won in league races here, as was proven last time we raced here in Top Fuel. This is what this track is definitely in Scott Brinson's wheelhouse, and he's showing that here tonight.
Agreed completely. He's as he reels in Seeker a little bit. I mean, how long are we into this run now? About 20, 25 laps?
Lap traffic is going to become a factor.
Yeah, lap traffic. They're coming up on the 10th place car right now. I believe that's Paul Crumry out in front of Nate Seeker. Very interesting. The rated R teammate is out there. It looks like he's going to let Seeker go by. No issues. Takes the low line going down the front straight. Scott Brinson clears him as well. The leaders can get back off to their battle. Scott's just hanging there, man. He's the journeyman soldier. He's up to, he's been 0.6 of a second behind Nate for how long now? He's just stalking the hell out of him. I like the way Scott's looking coming into the end of this race.
Tony, play the soundbite.
Oh, you guys are evil.
But anyway, I don't know if you guys were listening during the caution, but Scott Brinson burned a ton of fuel off during that caution. So he's going to be light on fuel, and he's going to have fresher tyres than Nate as well.
There it was.
Yeah, Warner Music Group are going to be all over our asses for that one, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Spielberg, you don't scare me. Anyway.
I mean, Seeker and Brinson right now, they are mirroring each other's lap time. Brinson 0.004 of a second of the good that time. It's going to be tough, man.
He's running out of time, though.
Scott, he's running out of laps, he's running out of time, and he's running out of lap cars to catch.
That's kind of like me. I have never lost a race that I've ever been in. I have been a little behind when we ran out of time, but I never lost.
You lost this one.
Yeah, I would say we both lost this one quite soundly, William.
No, Karen, you just ate a race car to the face.
I did eat a couple race cars to the face.
And Byron tested the structural integrity of the safety barriers.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, safer barrier 1, Byron 0.
As they're coming up on more lap traffic here, that's Kevin O'Brien there very quickly approaching now as Timothy Bates is under pressure from Michael Sturgill as they come out of turn 4. Sturgill round the outside. Sturgill up to 3rd place. What a move there by the number 12. Sturgill potentially on the podium here as they come flying out of turn 2. Bates looks like he might have... Yeah, he might have burned his tyres off already as Seeker catches O'Brien. O'Brien lets him by.
O'Brien giving him a rash of crap over the radio, though. Beaver asking him if he can get by cleanly. O'Brien telling him, yeah, you're going to do it the hard way, and then moves over for his teammate. Lets Brinson reel Seeker in by another couple thousandths.
Yeah, but he's running out of laps to go. We've got 12 laps remaining in this race, and Brinson, if he needs that, if he wants this win, he's going to have to try and close that gap by any means necessary. Strap a rocket to the back of your car, do anything, just close that gap if you want that win.
You do not put a rocket to the back of the car. It didn't work out very well for Wile E. Coyote. I don't see it working out well for anyone else.
Well, I can guarantee you that Scott Brinson's right foot right now is testing the structural integrity of the driver's compartment right now, as he has got to have his foot almost through the floorboard of that car trying to reel Seeker in.
Oh, he ain't standing on it. He's in it, on it, all around it, and through it.
Sturgill in pit road after putting that move on Timothy Bates, and he's dropped back down the field, so I wonder if Sturgill did not have enough fuel to make it to the end there.
There's no way Sturgill had enough fuel to do it. Not a chance.
Sturgill now goes a lap down, actually gets passed by Kevin O'Brien in the process, so big upset there for Michael Sturgill as we go back to the lead battle now. Brinson still doing everything he can to close that gap on Nate Siefka, but Siefka still able to manage that gap to Scott behind him. It's not working out very well for the four-time champion.
And over till the fat lady sings. There's still 7 to go.
As we just
I like the way Nate looks, but Scott's got a lot of laps
I could have
here.
just swore I just heard Nate Siefka come over the radio saying he hates his fuel calculator.
He did. He did say that.
Oh, is Siefka short on fuel?
He must be short. I haven't talked to those guys in about 40 laps, so I'm not sure where Nate's sitting right now.
Well,
but
you're uninspired then.
45 for Scotty.
I know you can get 52 laps on a green flag run. And Nate has not pitted at 58.
And that's let Scott Brinson close in ever so closely after Crumry not moving over for Siefka as much as he would have thought. So Brinson now not just hoping that that Siefka runs out of fuel, but also hoping they can now stay in that draft of the number 10, but Siefka pulls the gap out a bit more again, so a bit of cat and mouse going on right now.
Well, it just goes back to what Byron was saying, where aero push is real.
Yeah. 5 laps to go here at Milwaukee. Can Siefka make it to the end here?
I just want to give a shout to all these guys that are still in this deal. All of them, if they're running, they've driven a hell of a race. This isn't an easy racetrack, and the fact that they're still running right now and they're racing for the lead. They got 0.6 of a second between each other for the position. What a deal, man! It's a challenge here at Milwaukee. These guys are Iron Men for what they've done here tonight.
Yeah, what a race to the end as well between Siefka and Brinson. These guys have given everything they've got to get to where they are. Brinson probably more than Siefka. I mean, Brinson's been on the back foot more than once tonight. Siefka obviously falling further back because of pit stops, but what a race of strategy we're seeing between these two as we're now coming to 2 laps to go.
Yep, 2 to go. Popsicle sticks in the air as Nate Siefka crosses the stripe. Scott Brinson in pursuit. 0.6 of a second. Made a gain of about 1/10 of a second that time. It may end up being a little too late though. There's no traffic in front of Nate Siefka right now. Scott's really gonna just have to hit his marks the next 2 laps here if he's gonna have a shot at the win.
Brinson's actually looking like he's backed off a little bit there. He's lost more time to Siefka as the white flag comes out this time by Siefka. Only has 4 more corners left and he's got the win here. Can that car use that last bit of fuel to make it to the end here? He's got a decent enough gap over Scott Brinson as he makes his way into turn 3, through turn 4, out of turn 4, and Nate Siefka will pick up another win here at the Milwaukee Mile. He holds on. Scott Brinson will take second place. Timothy Bates comes out of turn 4. He will claim the last spot on the podium, and I'm looking forward to interviewing him. He's going to be happy with that one.
What a drive! What a drive by all of them. Scott, Nate, Tim, John, Dan, Butch, Kerry, Kevin, Paul, Michael, all these guys that finished the race. What a deal. Brinson right there to the end. What a race.
As we're looking at the race winner, Nate Siefka.
Nate Siefka, living proof that these IndyCar engines do huff fumes.
Yeah, they do. So, without further ado, let's go straight to our interviews, shall we? As we are going to go from, I believe, 3rd to last. So let's go to the interviews now as we're watching Siefka do his burnouts here. So we're going to go 3rd to last here as we're going to bring up our 3rd place finish. That would be this man, Mr. Timothy Bates. So if one of you fine gentlemen would like to bring him up, that would be absolutely fantastic.
I got him.
I'd love to. I just don't have the permissions to do it.
I got him.
So so Timothy Bates is going to join us in the booth. And Tony, I believe you have him with you right now.
Tim Bates getting to make a habit out of this whole post-race interview stuff. Congratulations on the podium tonight, sir. Hard-fought podium, I might add. Survival of the fittest out there tonight.
Yeah, we all kind of knew it was going to be an attrition race. It's Milwaukee. It's gonna it's gonna be high. It's gonna be fast. It's gonna be long. And this one wasn't that long, but it made it long with a lot of the yellows we had. But yeah, I've got some confidence building up. You never know what confidence can do, and I'll act like I've been here before and didn't get that win. But there's a lot of guys out there a lot faster than I was today. But put a lot of practice in here. So hey, on next week, last week, Pocono. Let's see what I can do.
Well, you know what? I just want to know, Tony, how much is he going to pay me to be up here in the booth? Because when I was in the booth for the whole race, he won the race. I was in the booth for a third of the race. He got third. How much is he going to pay me to be in the booth next week?
Well, let's see what the pot is. Hey, we can definitely work something out.
Does that mean I get to race at Pocono?
What's that?
Do you want to race at Pocono?
I love Pocono.
Maybe.
If I'm home, Sam,
Pocono don't love
I will
me,
broadcast it so you can race if I'm home.
Yay!
Anyways, Tim, getting back to talking about Pocono, that's one of those tracks that, three very distinct corners. One of the corners is set up like this one. One of the corners is set up at the track that you got your first victory at. Talk to us about your thoughts about going to the lovely picturesque Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania next week.
Well, like you said, it's three different corners, and it's got to become muscle memory, and you've had to have practice out there, and no matter what the setup is, you can practice the new setup, and you just get, again, muscle memory, making them turns, making the right places, and then avoiding wrecks. And fuel mileage usually takes the key in that race too.
Absolutely, and it's usually a scramble coming out of turn 3 going on the front straightaway. It's not uncommon to see 6 and 7 wide at the longest straightaway of any oval track in North America.
Yeah, but I know you guys know my racing style. My racing style, at least this year, and especially in these the last couple of weeks where I've been doing well, is I'm not that front running horse. I'm that horse that sits in the back and waits time and tries to pick them up one at a time, or let them pick themselves off, and then just try to be up there towards the end, and then see what you can do.
Well, that's my kind of driver, because like I always say, when I usually set up a car for racing, it might not be the fastest horse in the barn, but that damn thing's going to be there when that checkered flag falls.
Yeah, I mean, and look at this race and all the cautions today. I'm pretty sure I had 0 incidents. I know I had my fast pair at the end. There's some. I had to do some lefts and rights and roundabouts and all that, trying to get through some stuff. But hey, made it through it, and luck's got a lot to do with it, as always.
You were one of only, I'm seeing 3 drivers with 0 incidents.
Yeah, I take pride in that. I'm not the one that used to do that. If you look at the season standings, I think I'm like second with incidents, and most of them are road courses. But I've been trying to clean it up, and felt good out there tonight.
Well, Tim, congratulations on the podium. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank my wife. She's up there watching our grandson right now, so I can get out here and race. And we got some visitors coming in. Looking forward to it. Scott Brinson for obviously putting on this great league that gives me the opportunity to meet some of these great guys. You guys in the ESPN booth, I tell you what, all you guys, man, especially when you guys all come together, it makes for a great broadcast. I can't wait to rewatch tonight. And then of course, my No Limit Racing boys, we had some fun down there. I know we were up front a lot. We put in a lot of practice this week, and we made it to open to everybody, and anybody could join the practice. But it was us out there putting the laps in and talking about it. And it's nice when you got somebody to talk to, and especially these changes now, these in-car changes, they can make up a big difference, especially when you're driving a lot of green laps, which we didn't have today, but I think it's going to be a huge, huge advantage next week.
All right. Well, Tim, congratulations again on
thanks, Tony.
Another podium. We're looking forward to seeing you next week at Pocono.
All right. Take care, boys.
Now, that was Timothy Bates joining us in the booth. We are going to bring up the chief cook and bottle washer of the league, Mr. Scott Brinson. If he's ready for us, then we can speak to him right now. And Byron, I believe you're with Scott right now.
Scotty, I was on the track with you to start with. I finished it up in the booth after testing the structural integrity of the outside wall. Dude, we saw you get in a little incident, get some front wing damage, drop all the way back to like 12th, but you fought it up. You got up behind Nate, man. Tell us about the closing stages of that run. Looked like you had something for him there. Just the dirty air couldn't get you.
I'm looking at it right now, and it looks like it's a little bit of me coming up on Wooker and getting up underneath him and turning him, but at the same time, I don't know how many times he cut down on me, and I was just watching on lap 88. I almost ran him over before he chopped off my nose. So, Jeff, if you're listening, man, I didn't mean to wreck you, dude, and get into you, but you're on older tires and I was on newer tires, and you did it to the other guy, too. I can't remember who it was, but we were just trying to get by, man, so I wasn't trying to take you out or anything like that. So,
Yeah, it was an interesting being out there. It was tough to pass here. I did notice that sometimes cars had a hell of a run coming out of a corner on you. I had a run on some people, and some people had a run on me. And I just want to thank you for inviting me to race with that. I had a lot of fun, especially when we were out there racing with you. And but talk to us about the end of that race. Did you really have anything to catch Seifker?
I was right there. I was hoping that he would get a little bit of dirty air there, but it didn't work out. So I just couldn't get to him.
Well, it was a valiant effort, man. And I just love seeing how cream rises to the top. And you sneak up there, and you don't hear your number called all the whole way through the race. But every race I ever watch with Top Fuel, the 14's up there towards the end of it, at the end of it. And you sneak up under the radar. Who we got to throw some shout-outs to, man. And talk about next week. We got a big purse coming up for the championship.
Yeah, I don't know how much exactly it's going to be next week. We're going to get together first. I know you kicked in 25. I know a couple other guys said they were going to kick in 25. I was going to throw up 50. We're going to put together a nice little race first for next week. I just need to get away from this stuff for a while. I'm just kind of ticked off again tonight with how my race went and just the way the outcome was. I wanted to get up there and try to win this thing. I just felt like all night long I was just climbing a mountain all night. For me to finish second was just like a slap to the face to me.
Yeah, well, you know what, though? You are the cream of the crop when it comes out to driving these things, especially Milwaukee Mile. I've seen you win this one, not only in league, but in official, and that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, well, my days of winning races are behind me, it appears.
You'll be back up on top of the mountain before you know it, man. Anyone we need to shout out to?
Oh, of course, I want to thank you guys. Appreciate you guys coming in and calling the races. Sammy, Byron. I don't know who else is up here. I don't have team speak up, but all the people that have come in recently. Tony's up here. Tony, I appreciate you coming back, man.
Don't forget your buddy Kieran Brigelli. He's up here too.
Good to see you. Is he? Yeah, Kieran too, man. Kieran's, he's been coming along recently as a driver, and I know he didn't get the result he wanted tonight, but he's been having a hell of a season, his best season yet. So, but I appreciate all you guys coming out. Sorry, Kieran, go ahead.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just ran out of talent tonight, but it was good racing with you.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man. Trust me. But I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank all the sponsors. I want my buddies at the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I forgot to mention their names last time I mentioned that. And that's my buddy Ryan, my buddy Wes, my buddy Travis, and some other guys that kick in money in the past. My buddy James. All these guys played in the Fantasy Football League. They've kicked in money and helped sponsor races before. We didn't have a race first tonight, but it was still a JCSL race, and I just want to thank them for being a part of this stuff whenever they can.
All right, man. Everyone, that's your second place finisher, Mr. He's the boss of the league. He's the man who puts it on. Everyone we need to thank for it, Mr. Scotty Brinson.
I think Scott's got a few more people to thank.
I got a couple more. I want to say hi to my mom first and foremost. Sorry, took a drink of water and went down the wrong pipe. I want to say hi to my mom. Mom, I miss you. I love you. Hope you're holding down all right up there. Don't know when I'm going to be coming up, but I'll be getting up there before the end of the summer. Would have been up there a couple weeks ago, but with everything going on, y'all understand. So, but anyway, hi, Mom. Love you. Have a great day tomorrow. I also want to send some shout-outs to a couple of special people that I used to give shout-outs to all the time, and I'm hoping that they tuned in tonight, and that's Mr. Hayden and Miss Faithy, Princess Faithy. I missed you guys, and I love you guys, and I hope you got a chance to tune in tonight. We got one more race next week at Pocono. And I'm gonna be busting everything out the tool shed next week. So
happy birthday! Happy birthday to Hayden as well.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, happy birthday to Hayden.
Yeah, Scott, congratulations on the second place. Gonna round this thing off in Pocono next week. Looking forward to see you there.
Yes, sir, man. That's hope everybody comes out and. Like I said, after that, we're going to take a little hiatus for about 7 weeks or so, 6.5 weeks, I think, in between our scheduled races. And during that time, I'm going to decide if I want to keep doing this or not. So,
all right, Scott. Well, we'll see you then, and hopefully we can end this off with a big bang.
Yeah, and hey, are we going to crown John tonight, or are we going to just go ahead and wait till next week? What do you think? You think we should just do it tonight? It's mathematically over. I think we should just do it.
I think we should do it. Yeah, give the guys props. He won the championship. Good for him. He earned it.
If you get done interviewing the top three, Sammy, I'll come back up in here and we'll just go ahead and crown Mr. Poole tonight.
10-4.
All right, I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right, but before we do that, we're going to bring up our race winner of this one at Milwaukee, and it's going to be none other than the man Driving the number 10 No Limit Racing machine, and that's Mr. Nate Sievka. Nate, you had to work for that win at the end there, but you still pulled it off. Definitely going to put the nightmare of last week behind you there.
Yeah, I'd say putting last week behind me. I mean, I really wasn't working hard at the end. I had to save a little bit of fuel in order to make it to the end. So I had that race I was pretty much cruising, lifting and coasting by about a good 200 feet there, basically the entire last stint there. So I wasn't pushing at all there. So, I mean, say what you want, I guess, but I mean, I was just kind of cruising around and trying to keep my, fuel management in check. So, I mean, I was managing the gap. I wasn't letting Scott get close. I'd move it up a little. I mean, I could pull away when I wanted to because of the clean air, and I felt like I had a pace advantage all night long. So, really, I mean, it was just managing myself, managing the fuel consumption there at the end. I really just had to make sure I had enough fuel to get the end, and I did. So.
Yeah, and talk about your race there. I mean, you were very dominant there at the front. I mean. The only times you dropped back there were because of pit stops. I mean, what was your secret to staying out at the front there? How were you able to manage it through the traffic as well?
I mean, it was really just kind of just making sure I had clean air. I mean, I wouldn't call it any secrets. I mean, I'm pretty strong at Milwaukee usually, and I really just knew what adjustments I needed to make myself. Different drivers are different. With this new format that we got. People are going to take time to learn what they're good at, and I think I already knew what I was going to be good at. I think it'll take time for other people to learn what they're going to be good at. So, I mean, really, it was just knowing what I can do with the car, how I needed to drive it, and that's all it took.
Right, and this second place, I nearly took a win away from you there. But this win for you tonight consolidates your place, your second place here in the championship. There's 2 second places in a row here, Nate. Next season, you're going to be going for that number 1 spot if there is another season?
I mean, I'm always going to go for the win in any season. I had a pretty rough first half of the season. The second half of the season's been a lot better. I think the only 2 races that I finished outside the top 5 were Indy and Michigan there. So, I mean, really, it's just got to make sure that I can be consistent throughout the year. I mean, I've been on the podium every race since we broke or had that break up until Indy and then Michigan. So, I mean, continuing the form with that here, and I'm going to finish the season strong, hopefully. So, I mean, it really is just going to be, maybe I can hopefully not let John win so I can have the most. Actually, I think I got to beat John one more time in order to get the most wins in the season. So, I currently got the most poles, so can't let John get the pole next week. But if I win next week, I think I'll be in good shape for that.
So you heard it here first. Nate likes being on the pole. But anyway, Nate, looking ahead to Pocono, I've seen in the past you've had a very up and down time there. You've had good results, you've had bad results. Bit of a mixed feeling going into next week.
Bittersweet, I think. If I had to call it anything, excited but disappointed. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about going into that next week. I think, I'll look at it as every race that we go to, thinking, preparing ourselves as a team. Now you actually have to know what you're working with starting out. So I think it'll be interesting to see with the adjustments we're allowed to make, how that works. And hopefully we can, NLR has done a fantastic job. I think we've won every race since we've had our break. So, I mean, we've done an excellent job with that. And I think if we can just finish the season out strong, maybe get our team leader, Chris, a win, because he hasn't won one yet. I think everybody except for him, Dan, and Webker have won a race so far for us this year. So I think we gotta get one of those 3 a win, hopefully, and we'll just shoot for that.
Absolutely. And before I let you go and celebrate your win, anyone you want to give a shout out to? I know one person you're going to speak about anyway. So yeah,
I'd like to give a shout out to my beautiful girlfriend who's always by my side. She had a little rough day today, so I'm gonna get off and go right over there and cheer her up, hopefully. And she's everything to me, of course. And gotta thank team, of course. They did a great job today, and with the prep, I didn't get to do a whole lot of practice this week. They filled me in right away and helped me out. So kudos to all the guys. Just all of them really had a role. Thank you, Tony, Sam, Kieran hopped up here. I think Byron may have hopped up here. I don't even know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I hopped up here after I hopped up on the outside wall.
So thank you guys for broadcasting, and thanks to Scott for putting on the league, and congrats to John for winning the championship. I believe he locked it up. I don't know how he wouldn't have tonight. I think he really earned this championship. He has an unreal amount of top 5s and 10s. So he definitely earned the championship. Kudos to him. I learned a lot from him this season. So we'll hopefully, whatever comes next, hopefully I can still learn from him.
All right. Well, Nate, congratulations on the win here tonight. Go and get some rest, and we'll see you next week when we head to Philadelphia.
Thank you. But that's not Philadelphia, though, Sam.
Pennsylvania, that one.
That's about.
Yeah, I know. Pennsylvania, that's the one. Pennsylvania.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, that was
wrong pew.
Well, that was Nate Siefka joining me in the booth there, and we're going to go back to Scott Brinson now. He's rejoined us in the booth. Scott, I believe you got a champion to crown. If Scott's back here. No, he's not. Well, we're going to do it anyway. We've got John Poole in the booth with us tonight. Tony, I believe you're with him right now. Oh, there you are. Scott, we brought you back in the booth. John's in the booth as well. I believe you got a champion to crown.
Yes, sir. Tony, you can go ahead and do the interview if you want. I'll interject here.
John Poole, tonight all you had to do was just take the green to start qualifying, and you clinched the championship here in Top Fuel Racing. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much. It's been a really challenging season from the onset. Really appreciate the competition over here. These guys, week in, week out, they don't give you an inch. You earn every spot that you have on the racetrack. So to crown it a race early, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I've really appreciated the competition here for the past season and a half or so. Whenever I came in, it's been excellent. The co-opetition between fellow drivers, the environment, it's been excellent. No other league I've ever been a part of has had this type of environment to walk into.
Well, John, I know that I can definitely speak for those of us that have been up in the booth. It's been an impressive run every week to see you run up front, and battling for those wins. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to see you win, but you and Siefker right now are neck and neck for most wins on the season. Talk to us your thoughts about what you're looking forward to in the next season here in Top Fuel Racing. As far as the competition and you touched on the fact that everybody it's co-opetition. I think that's the best way I've ever heard it put here in Top Fuel. Your thoughts on whether or not the level of competition here is fair.
So I just want to kind of interject, kind of poke fun at Nate a little bit. But 2 of those wins he got, I gifted it to him. So if it wasn't for throwing it away at Watkins Glen and Charlotte, I'd be sitting at 6 and he'd be sitting at 2. So, but no, it's been great co-opetition with Nate, Scott, and everybody this season. The competition, like I said, you gotta You got to earn everything out on the racetrack. There's no freebies or this or that. So, and I'm new kind of to iRacing, over the past year or so, just starting in the sim, full time type of thing. Before this, I was in NR2K3. So, to see my development and my growth over that time has been huge. Like I said, these guys are really inviting, helped me out anytime I needed help. We had a great competition for the longest time. We had the channel, the Island of Misfit Toys, or as we called ourselves. So yeah, next season, I look for more of the same. I know Scott will rebound. He's bound to. He's had really rough string this season. I know Nate's going to be very tough to beat as well. Maybe somebody else will come out of the woodwork. Kieran, won last week at Michigan. If he can just put some things together, I think he can be a solid championship contender. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens, honestly.
Well, John, I'm going to turn things over now to the chief cook and bottle washer here in Top Fuel Racing, Mr. Scotty Brinson. I know he's got some words about being able to crown you one race early. Scotty?
Yep, sure do, man. And I'll tell you what, if there's anybody fitting to be the champion, John, you are on and off the track, man. You're a good person. You race people with integrity. You go out there and you drive your ass off, and you're tough as hell to beat. So if anyone deserves the strap tonight, it's you, my friend.
Well, thank you, Scott. It really does mean a lot. I really wanted to earn your guys' respect and this and that on the racetrack. I knew it was going to be a tough early on, and that first race, that was really rough on me. So I was doubting myself there back at Michigan last season, but everything turned around, came together, and I've been on this ride for the last season and a half, and it's been great. It's been great.
Well, congratulations on winning your first Top Fuel Racing Championship. And come next week, when we send out all the money at the end of the season, you'll be getting, I do believe it's $130 cash for winning the championship. I'm looking right now for the exact number. So you're going to be getting a little moolah for winning this thing.
Well, that always makes it nice. Always is a good incentive for running well. A little bit of moolah.
Yeah, 130 to the winner, 75 to second, 55 to third, 40 to fourth, and 30 to fifth for a total of 330 for the championship payout at the end of the season. So congratulations, John. You'll be winning $130. And like I said, man, you're the new reigning champion of Top Fuel Racing.
Awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. And thank you again, Scott, for putting this on. I mean, you could have, at any point, with how rough your season has been, let me just go back, season and a half it's been for you. You could have just cut the league off and said, what the hell with this? I don't need to do that. And you stuck with it. So I know everybody hasn't really said this, but we do appreciate that. We do appreciate that you've stuck in and such like that. And you definitely deserve this break that's coming up.
Well, I appreciate hearing you say that, man. It's we've been running hard for almost 6 straight years, and 5 of it full time. And yeah, I just need a break. And I'm not one to walk away things before they're done. And like I said, when we took that break a few weeks ago, I didn't want to cheat you out of your championship. I know you just started sim racing, and I wanted you to be able to add that to your resume, regardless of what some people may think about this league or the caliber of this league or the people in this league and the caliber of them. That's their own opinion. So, but honestly, dude, I think you can go run anywhere and compete anywhere and run for a championship in any of these leagues. So, like I said, man, you're the one that deserves the title tonight. You've had a hell of a year. So, congratulations, buddy. And I appreciate everything you said. And as far as next season goes, I don't know if we're coming back for sure, but there's a possibility. And I'm hoping to get a chance to go up there and race you wheel to wheel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If there is one, I look forward to it. Honestly and truthfully.
Me too, and I hope some of these other guys you mentioned, like Kieran and maybe the Tim Bases and the Jeff Woopkers. I know Jeff's probably a little sore, man. Like I said, Jeff, I didn't mean to get into you, man. That just that tire thing, and I was getting runs on you, so I'll try to work that out with Jeff. But some of these other guys that are running in the front with us, I want to see them up there challenging us too, and I want to see this. If we do come back, I want to see season 11 be a super competitive season.
Yeah, season 11 does go ahead. Then expect. I'm hoping Sam Cooper Bennett can make his return to the field. Hopefully, if things work out.
Well, that would be good. If we do, if we do come back, Sammy, that first race back for your return would be the 250th race in Top Fuel Racing history, and it would also be the 6-year anniversary of Top Fuel Racing, which is what we call race anniversary.
I just need to get Mr. Trapasso's stuff to him so we can broadcast these races.
Well, the problem is Mr. Trapasso also needs somebody to pay for an internet connection that doesn't involve the words Wi-Fi.
That's also true.
But, need a sugar mama, Tony?
He's got one.
I'm just giving him a hard time.
No.
But anyway,
anyway, congratulations, John. I'll turn it back over to the broadcasters. Have a good night and drink a cold one for me, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Well, that was interviews. We crowned a new champion here tonight, and we've seen another race won here in very competitive circumstances by Nate Siefka. But with that, let's go through the final finishing order of this race before we go anywhere. As again, I'm playing my music player. There we go. As we bring up the results for this one here tonight, as coming home with the win once again was Nate Siefka. Scott Brinson chased him down for those last 30 laps, but couldn't just get that little bit that he needed to get the race win. He finishes in second. Timothy Bates rounds out your top three, and John Poole clinches the championship here tonight. He finishes in P4. Dan Brazenton picking up a top five there, and I think I speak for everybody here tonight when I say Dan Brazenton, I think pretty much deserves the ESPN driver of the night here tonight.
Absolutely.
Yep, I agree.
Agreed.
P6 going to Butch Davis. P7 going to Kerry Cleaver. 8th going to Kevin O'Brien. 9th going to Paul Crum right here. Michael Sturgill, what could have been for him? Having to make that late pit stop really cost him there, as he was in the top 3 for a short while. But he gets P10 regardless. Jeff Clark at P11. Luis Gonzalez Nunez, probably his worst race of the season since he joined. He finishes down there in P12. Jeff Booker in P13. That old guy next to me in P14. P15 was Ronnie Osmer. P16 is Carl Burke. P17 is that other guy next to me. Yeah. P18 is Johnny Antonucci. P19 Mark Walker. And running out your field at 20 here was Chris Walker after an early connection problem. Well, that is going to do it for us here tonight here from Milwaukee. A fantastic race here tonight. A lot of cautions, but that is part of the course here for Milwaukee. But what a great race, guys. Before we go anywhere, final thoughts on the race.
Thank God it's over.
I second that.
Well,
I'm looking forward to Pocono. I enjoyed Milwaukee. I enjoyed the challenge it presented, but I'm a super speedway guy. I'm looking forward to Pocono.
And Sam,
I think it'll be a good race.
Sam, if I'm home and available for Pocono, I will take over in the booth and let you race the final race of the season. That's if I'm here, you got my commitment, I'll do that for you.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Well, that is going to do it for us here tonight.
Hell no.
From myself, Byron Rodney, Tony Trapasso, Scott Brinson, and Kieran Begelli in the booth. All that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will see you next week live from Pennsylvania. I said it right this time. And Pocono. Have a good night.
Winning.